like this bluegill,
where they are, they're going to be there during tournament day.
It gets it to react to, which is it's like a binary switch.
Don't ever cook bacon naked.
Nope, don't do it. I've done that too.
Hey everybody, we're back.
Hello.
That is funny. We're
Oh
gonna
my
click him back
goodness.
in. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry I'm late, but as usual, I am late. But also, these two were just having an entire conversation about the Eagles and 10 other conversations about New Jersey, and I couldn't rein them in long enough to get it started. So
No, we were out of control.
We were.
So we have my co-host, who is the tentative co-host, who is going to be my co-host, just doesn't know it yet. So much
She
pressure.
will.
Michael, it's funny because you think that pressure is gonna make me crack. I'm one tough son of a bitch. Okay,
no.
so
You're gonna have.
look.
I'm gonna start it right here with this. You're gonna have so much fun in 2 weeks when we go fishing. It's like a week and a half. That, matter of fact, this guy right here will be involved with it too.
What up, homie? Evening.
We are going to be, for those of you who don't know, I kind of talked about it in one of my videos, but I have kind of a adventure. We'll use her term here.
Oh, okay.
Plan where we got what 2, 3, 5 ice fishing sends in a week.
Yeah.
She's gonna be sick of me and not want to deal with me anymore, and she probably will be my co-host after that. But she's coming to Vermont to hang out. We're gonna fish a bunch of different lakes, possibly record some other content, and we do have a guest, as you guys see. I'm gonna let Janelle introduce, and then
Here he
we'll
is.
kind of get back into
To my
it. Yeah.
point. This is the homie right here. I was his former mail lady. Everybody meet Adam Mihara from AM Anglers. He makes some really awesome lures and also really great conversations. So I figured we would have him on the show because he's my buddy. And
Yeah, we're local.
I got 2 buddies, and he's local. That's right. So we can talk
Local
all
to South Jersey.
South Jersey, but we can talk all Philadelphia Eagles football.
That's right. Go Birds.
Go Birds!
Here we go. The funny part is half of my fan base is in New England, so they're probably mad at that statement. But yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
too
y'all.
bad.
Oh,
Sitting at home, no Brady. That's so sad.
That's funny.
My heart goes out to them.
no, mine doesn't. His fake ass white ass teeth. He looks like a horse. Okay, anyway,
That's
listen. I don't need to start a fight. I'm just happy that the Birds are doing what they're doing this season. And the funny thing is, in the beginning of the year, I was like, I want to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. And I was like, I won't complain if I see the Bills and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Who knows?
It might happen. We don't know.
Good.
We don't know.
Absolutely.
So the
So
wildest fan bases.
I have to ask you,
Yes.
are you actually going fishing tomorrow? Because you were saying you might be going.
Me?
Yeah.
You know, Bobby.
Where?
So apparently there's a section of near DOD that's frozen over, and another friend of mine whose name is also Mike, he was sending me pictures because I was like, dude, Bobby and I are trying to find open water. Let me just find these pictures. He came down from Massachusetts to find open water, and as you know, New Jersey doesn't normally freeze like this, Adam. Like this,
Oh,
Right.
this is rare. And so I was like, Bobby, come on down. But this is like the spot that he goes to, like at DOD or what have you. They were catching largemouth the other day. So I was
It's
like,
deep there. I would not want to be on DOD in
it's not
no,
on
ice.
like it's on like this little piece of it. I don't know. But anyway, I've been dying to try out my gear and my new underwater camera. So I might
Oh my god, I got so much tackle to try.
Yeah, right?
It's driving me insane.
I am starting to feel like the winter, like, lull, like the drag. I'm just like,
Same.
get the F out of here. Like, I can't watch anything on YouTube. It's either ice fishing videos or like old spring videos. I just want to be out there and I can't.
Yep.
Like, even the people down south right now, they're like covered in snow, like Florida,
Yeah.
Carolinas. They're like, oh, we got 4 inches of snow. Like, that's normal right now. You know, we're
Right.
buried under it.
Yeah. This is like, Bobby could have came down 4 days beforehand, and it wouldn't have been what it was because he hit right before like the cold front stayed. Normally we'll get like one really weird cold day, and then the next day, yeah, no bills. And then the next day, it's all thawed. It's all thawed out. Like
Yeah.
New Jersey, it doesn't stay cold.
I'm going ice fishing in 2 days.
Hey yo, go check out them spots.
I've already been 3 times. Matter of fact, where I'm going ice fishing is nice.
Shut up. Hey cutie, I haven't seen you since like the first day. Hi. Oh
This
my
is Daisy.
goodness. Hi Dazers.
She doesn't like the fact that I'm on the phone, so she came to bother me.
That's
That's
mine
fine.
does the
Mike's
same
dogs
thing.
do the same thing. Yeah, my cat is. She's somewhere trying to be like.
Yeah, literally Saturday I'm actually fishing. I guess we can call it pre-fishing for where we're going. So it's my favorite spot because what's cool about it is where it's a state campground. They have their boat launch that's part of the campground. And in Vermont, once winter hits, a lot of the state parks, they just are open for the public. You don't have to pay to get in or anything like that. They shut down basically Columbus Day weekend. And what's cool is in Vermont, in state campgrounds, you can camp for free after the season's out, which is why me and Janelle are going to stay there because there's a porta potty in the parking lot. It's a big parking lot, and the lake is
Priorities.
right there.
Priorities.
Right
Where's
Porta
the
potty,
toilet?
priority.
Well, I mean,
Potty lake.
that's a priority for me, not necessarily even as much for Janelle, but I know it sucks for her too because she's got a bus and she has to have like drain it, dump it eventually at some point. So.
Yeah, eventually. I gotta take care of it twice.
In the wintertime, it's a little rough to try to handle that. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, that lake, the way it's set up is cool because you can literally catch like 40 yards from shore walleye, smallmouth, pike, perch, and all the panfish species.
better
But you don't
catch
have to
all of
go
these.
very far.
I better catch all of these species, Michael.
And you better catch them on underwater camera too.
That's my plan for mine,
So it
too.
was like $20. It was on sale. I mean, I also got it from
What?
Temu, but it was from Temu. But I had it on the other day, and it looks great. Like the quality looks pretty cool.
So
I
what I
don't
noticed
know.
about mine is, and maybe it's just because of the way my living room's set up, it does look a little pixelated, but I think it's because it's designed to not be in so much light because I have a lot of light in my living room. And I think the camera is ultimately tuned to be in water.
Right,
So when
right,
you like shine it around your living, I mean, it looks good.
right.
It's definitely not. Okay, let me start over. I'm jaded because I use 4K 120 GoPros.
Yeah, that's
So you
true.
can see sweat beading off my face in the summertime for my videos because I'm using stupid high end. So when I look at like a 1080p, I'm like, ugh. I'm like
Don't watch my
bougie.
YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm like bougie when I look at like, and that's the thing. I don't necessarily care, but when you look at it in comparison to that type of footage, it's weird. But what's cool about the underwater stuff, which is what I'm excited to get, and I'm hoping that I get some this weekend, but also with Janelle, is I want to get like my buddy has forward facing sonar. So I want to use it in conjunction with that this weekend to be like, okay, yeah, we see the fish on the forward facing sonar, drop the camera down to see so we can kind of get an idea of what that dot is. Because
Basically,
sometimes you think it's a pike and it's a freaking, carp.
I'll
And you're like, I don't know what this is.
I'll catch one. Basically, we're going to be playing with all of our gear and not be paying attention to our lines.
Oh, no.
Right. And
it's
forget
gonna
about
be-
filming, forget about everything else.
Yeah, no.
I will tell you, that's one thing I don't do. Janelle's hung out with me. It's annoying how much I have a camera running.
It's okay though. Like this weekend was nice. The video that I filmed from this weekend, like it's done. I just have to upload it soon for like me and Bobby's trip. But then it also wouldn't make sense because of all the other trips I've been on. But I'm also just upload the fucking video, Janelle. But if all else fails, a GoPro is getting strapped to my body, and we'll just make a video
I had
that
an
way.
idea for that for you.
Oh God.
So
I'm just
bus
kidding.
content. So bus content, you kind of have to continue with your I'm building my bus because that's kind of what.
I think I make my own fucking rules at this point. Does Adam have a YouTube channel, Adam?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's the same as my name here, Adam Mihara Fishing.
Okay.
But I made a commitment to stop filming actual fishing videos as of last year. And the reason being, I was putting out so much effort for so little return
Mm.
Where if I made like a review video on a fishing reel that I bought off Amazon, I'm getting like 10 times the views and feedback on that. Whereas I spent 8.5 hours on a lake filming, editing, swapping out SD cards, charging cameras, multiple angles, catch
Yeah.
3 fish, and 50 people watch it. And they only watched it to steal my spot.
So I will tell you
Those
the two
assholes.
pieces of advice that I give everybody, and Janelle's gonna laugh because she's heard this 100 times and no one listens to me. So when you're filming, run your camera the whole time, which you're doing. Sounds like you're doing at least that right. Because one of the things that annoys me the most is
Oh,
when
shut up.
my boy bear fishing and my girl Janelle will be like, "Damn it, my camera wasn't on."
But
Leave
you
the
don't catch
damn
fish when the camera is on.
yeah, leave the damn
It's
thing on.
cursed.
But what
No,
you
it's
do,
cursed.
what
My
you
GoPro has
literally
a
do-
curse on it.
yeah.
There's a demon inside. It doesn't
Yeah.
allow me to catch fish when it's
Well,
on.
I'll tell you your first mistake, and
Oh,
that
let's
is
hear it.
GoPro. GoPro can go out of
Oh.
business, and the world would be a better place because DJI kills GoPro.
I've been looking at the Insta 360s though. I'll
The
tell you right now,
DJI. Insta
my
360s are good too.
my GoPros are taking a shit.
Yeah, they die.
My
They
sessions my
just
sessions are
do.
dying. This is like an original. This was like a 2013 Hero 3
You have a
Plus.
session?
I have 2 of them.
Wow.
But
I
they currently don't have any lenses because I've been trying to figure out what these There you
can
go.
we crash it?
Yeah. Can we make a video about it?
Kind of.
Okay. That's awesome. I have 2
So-
of them.
A lot of the race drones. I also fly race drones.
Sick.
They take a session, and they don't take a regular GoPro.
Okay.
So
hard to
they're a hot commodity in the drone world.
These fuckers.
Well, there you go. How many sessions do you have, Janelle?
2.
If they're
They were
hot
going for like
commodity,
$400 each
yeah,
for a little
sell
while.
your sessions and then buy a real camera.
These things that I've had for, let's say, 8 years. It's probably more, but we'll say 8. They're starting to fall off
So
the place.
the
of
cheat
earth.
code to doing it is when you catch a fish or you do something significant, stop your camera after and give yourself a keyword. So literally, if you catch a fish, hold your
Fish.
fish up, stop your camera. Or
We
if
did
you're
it.
like, that was a really good point that I said something cool, stop.
Look, Mom,
So
I
then when
did
you're
it.
editing, all you have to do is go back to the last 30 seconds of each clip and listen. And if you don't see a fish and you don't hear yourself talking to yourself, you delete the photo and move on to the next video. And you don't have to rewatch a 9-hour day.
Yeah.
Saves you so
The
much.
whole editing process for me, I can't take. I don't like it. It's not fun. It takes me away from doing things I do enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
That's part of my problem right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, you should. Damn.
That is
Look
good
at that,
luck.
ladies and gentlemen.
so should
Sorry.
I make a lure like this?
Uh-huh.
Or should I edit a video of me not catching anything for 8 hours?
I can do you one better.
Both.
Throw a camera on a tripod and paint a lure like that and post that.
I
Because you
have
will
done that,
get a
and that's what I've
lot of
moved on
following.
to.
A lot of people like watching the bait making and the
He's-
painting stuff. And
He
look at
dabbles.
look up World's Worst Fishing. That dude's literally a plastics maker, and that dude has some of the most entertaining content. And half of the time, it's just a video of his hands pouring plastic into molds. Like,
So
and it's
I've moved on to more of that type of video rather than active fishing video because I can film me making a lure like 3 minutes at a time in a clip, and it's all good content versus 8 hours of me not doing much of anything.
Yep.
So I feel like that's a better format for my channel. And then fishing tips and reviews, like I said, it's just a more. I'm getting more response, and that's what you're, making the videos, making the podcast. You want people to hear what you're doing and what you're saying. And if people just aren't clicking on it because you have a 30-minute fishing video that's mostly nothing and they expect nothing from you,
Yeah.
they're not going to come back.
Janelle actually ruined my channel.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You cursed
Well-
them with your camera?
Yeah, it was the whole
So
point.
what
Sabotage.
happens is I used to have I can't say that. She didn't,
Friends?
but what I learned was same thing. My raw fishing videos where it was like fish catch, have a nice day, didn't do crap. And it's because who am I, some Vermont fisherman that catches fish that are, I mean, yeah, some of them are
Same.
big,
Jersey.
but I'm not
They're
catching,
not big.
I'm not catching 10 pounders.
Or not.
I'm not catching,
They're only
OH
big in the spring.
Yeah, I'm not catching OHIV bass, so I can't compete. But what I can compete on is my personality and the storytelling. So that's kind of the direction I went, is hanging out with like Janelle and my buddy from Canada, bear fishing. Like, I noticed something that like they spent more time recording crap that wasn't fishing to put in their videos, like just walking around the car, recording, setting stuff up, recording, eating a sandwich, like just stupid B-roll that I never thought to record. And I realized that Cayuga trip really is what inspired me the most, because if I were to try to make my old style of video from that Cayuga trip, I would have had a 4-minute video, because that trip, fishing wise, sucked.
Yep.
And
I think we caught 4
that's
fish in 3 days.
yeah. You run into that more often than not, really.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
But it turned into 3 videos because I had a lot of fun. There were some times where I left my camera rolling and Janelle walked up to it and just started filming for me, because
Yeah, I
she
love
would start talking to my camera.
Well, that's a good co-host for you.
That's it's exactly.
That's right.
That's actually one of the reasons why I asked her to, because like she has the same mentality as me. Like, she saw my camera. It wasn't even running. She started my camera. Was like, I'm rigging up a bait. And then she like turned it and then filmed her and Bobby fishing. I was in the bathroom.
And Bobby caught a fish.
And Bobby caught a fish.
Ooh.
That's
I like
got
the
a
red
really.
treble too.
Is that like a circuit
So-
board, Bill?
That's a circuit board lip, but
Yep.
what you can't tell from the camera is this is a normal size crankbait.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This is how big this one is.
Is that like an ounce or half ounce?
It's balsa, so it's not that heavy.
Okay.
So I'd probably say it's like about an ounce or so.
And
doesn't
is
have
that
to scale.
balsa you carve, or is it balsa you buy?
I carved this.
That's cool.
He's a carver.
That's cool.
So
Adam, run us.
I have wood over here, so I can show you the progression of how things go.
That's what I was gonna say. Run us through your process. Go ahead.
So to give you a little background, I started carving lures back in 2020 or so. I had lost both my parents. I needed an outlet for, all my, anger and frustration. And I was watching YouTube. We're in the middle of pandemic. I found this guy, Marling Baits, and he carved lures from beginning to end. I was always interested in doing it, but had no idea how. So I kind of learned through his videos, like what to do. So I just grabbed whatever wood I had and started carving into it. And it did not look pretty at the beginning. It was terrible. I was painting things with nail polish. I was cutting down trees in my backyard. It didn't go well. But we've kind of evolved. We're here 5 years later almost. So we start with, a piece of wood. This is a tree that fell on my property.
Nice.
And then, we block it out. Regular, piece of wood.
Beautiful.
Then it becomes a fish shape. And you start adding weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it's balanced. You have buoyancy at the top, you have weight on the bottom. You smooth it out, you make a nice shape.
Look at this man with the line up.
And then you create a swim bait.
And then you hang
You
it
carve
on
out
the
detail into it, and eyeballs and joints and fins. Stuff like that. And then, in the end, you hope that it becomes something like that.
Oh, I like that. Wow, I really like that. Is it on the side? Okay, timeout. Yep.
Yeah, it lays on its side like it's dying.
Look at him. The
It's a
innovator.
popper.
Sweet.
I
And then-
I tied the feather trebles on it.
So
Beautiful.
where's the line tie on that? Is it on the front where a normal popper would be?
It's on the nose.
So when you pop that, if you have it on like a longer, it's gonna probably like roll, right? Essentially, is it gonna roll when you pop it, or does it stay flat when you pop it?
The idea for this one was that it would walk a little bit because it's
Okay.
longer,
Got it.
but it doesn't really do much of anything. It just pops.
I could see though where if you did like a reel down pop, it might like roll almost like a floundering fish.
Yeah.
I bet you could make that work like that. That would be cool.
That thing is awesome. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, that thing's sick.
Thank you.
And if you're
Yeah,
in
so-
South Jersey, you just drive around and you look at all the mailboxes, and when you see lures hanging from them, you'll know where Adam is.
Yeah, so that's how Janelle and I met. I had a lure literally on my mailbox drying.
Yeah.
And she touched it.
I did.
And she knocked on my door after she had done her route, and my wife answered it because my wife was home, and my wife was wearing one of my Tackle Warehouse shirts, and Janelle's like, these are my people.
These are my people, genuinely. And Daisy answered the phone too, or the door
Right,
too.
my dog.
Yeah.
So Janelle's like, I touched that bait that was out there. Is that yours?
It's a whole thing.
Like, can you have your husband call me, please?
Yeah. It was awesome. This
That's
is how I've
funny.
made most of my friends. I don't think that we talk about it as much, especially as like adults. Is like, why are we
Yeah.
so afraid to like talk to people? Like, I've met more people that I'm friends with now that I just freaking like. My friend who lived out of her old ProMaster, I put a note on her window because I was like, "Hey, help me with my solar for my bus. We are best friends."
I thought you didn't like me at first.
I don't. And Adam,
Fair enough.
Adam, I love that color pattern. I'm sorry.
That is good.
Cool.
So I was going for like a sucker for this one.
It's a sucker, but it also kind of has a bit of a rainbow trout. Like, it's kind of like
has
a
a slight
hybrid.
rainbow to it. Yeah.
But I
Little
like
bit.
that. I like that a lot, and I like the orange underneath.
We've got
Billy the Bear.
bluegills,
I love
tropical bluegill.
it. Yeah,
This one has a lip on it.
sick.
And I got plenty more.
I
I mean,
know.
I've got boxes and boxes of stuff that I've made that I have intentions to sell, and I just never get around to taking the photos for.
Dude, I was on your website. I'm like, where are the lures?
That would work really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I hit the lottery, Adam, I'm buying them all. Just so you
So
all know, I shredded
I have
my
a web
bonus
store.
check. He does. I'm sorry. We'll go. Sorry. Go ahead.
I have a web store, but I don't really promote it very well because I'm a terrible businessman.
Well,
I have like
I think
more of a, I guess, influencer mentality than business.
Well, let's change that.
How do you need somebody very specific that wants to buy a cedar wood frog with a propeller on the back?
They're out there. They're out
I'm
there.
sure they're out there, but I don't know how to find them.
Let me introduce you to the JDM market.
Hey, yo.
Those
Yeah.
JDM dudes. I mean, they're buying a fucking fuzzy dice with silicone fingers.
That's
I'm half Japanese.
There you go. Just say it's JDM.
How
That's not
dare you?
lying.
That's funny as hell. Oh, yeah.
So this one's made out of maple, so you can actually see the wood grain in this one,
Yeah. But
and it changes as it moves.
If you found that there's any like advantages to one type of wood versus another, I mean, balsa is obviously like
Yes.
the standard, but
No, actually, I dislike balsa for the most part.
Whoa.
that's an
So
interesting.
the reason being, balsa is extremely soft. It's a very, very soft wood. So it carves very well, but it doesn't sand very well. It's not very smooth. It's kind of hairy and fuzzy.
It's hairy.
So you can never get this perfectly smooth. And then when you put a chemical on it, like a sealer, it bubbles. So then it's even less smooth. So you're constantly fighting balsa to get it to look smooth and professional.
Okay.
And then once you do build the lure, you have to put a wire through the middle of it in order for it to even hold together. So that's why I cut a slice down the middle of all my balsa, so that way I could put a wire through it. Whereas if you take a heavier wood, like cedar, you can just tie a wire into it and not have to worry about putting a wire through the whole bait. Cedar is still light, but it's very tough wood. You go to try to break a branch of cedar, it's really, really difficult.
Yep.
You look at balsa the wrong way, it has a dent in it, it's crying.
Like all those freaking New England fans. Anyway,
Yeah, that's right.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that. That's cool.
that's why he's the
So-
man.
Balsa is really buoyant too. So if you want to make a sinking lure or even a swim bait, it's just not the right wood. You're better off using cedar, cypress, or mahogany. Mahogany is a really heavy wood. It's very durable. They used to make ships out of it. So that's a tough wood, but it's also tough to work with because when you cut through mahogany, it has a tendency to chip, and then you're fighting with that too. So that's why I go middle of the road. Cedar is where I kind of found my niche. I really like the way it moves in the water. The only drawback to cedar is that it does not carve a detail into it well. And when I talk about detail, I'm talking about like this.
Yeah.
You can't carve like mouths and gills and things like that into cedar because the grain in it is so tough that your stainless steel blade from your knife will actually bounce off of it. And then it'll have like weird like bumps and stuff.
Yeah, if you ever try to cut a cedar branch with a knife, it's a night. Like it just doesn't. Yeah.
Excuse me?
It's not a good experience.
Now, have you dabbled at all with like Dremel tools, or are you just strictly a knife carving kind of guy? What is that? Hold on, answer my question first.
Okay, so I have dabbled with a little bit of more power tools lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using a Dremel to cut holes into my cedar that's really, really thin.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed that one bait earlier that had the holes in the bottom.
Right.
If you try to drill this with a regular power drill, the chances are that it'll chip out and break.
Right.
But the Dremel moves at such a high speed that it'll actually burn through the wood a little bit more.
Yep.
And it won't break. So that's a good benefit to the Dremel. But aside from that, everything I do is hand carved, hand sanded. It takes me hours and hours to finish any one bait.
I like that.
So it takes me about 6 hours to finish
Throw
anything.
that in your snakehead lake. I
Adam,
guarantee a snakehead would destroy that.
oh, little Jack Skellington on there.
Those little.
So this was my Halloween bait this year.
Nice.
I usually do a Halloween bait every year. I also got commissioned to do a Jason, which I don't have anymore.
Oh, boo.
But that's the kind of thing that I like to make. I like to make
I like that color a lot.
That is cool.
swim baits,
God.
and I never make the same thing twice unless it is my signature bait, which people look at this and they tell me I'm crazy. This is called a swagger.
The swagger. Look at that thing.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a sinking lure. It's made out of cedar. It has a slow sink, nose down. And it has these spinnerbait skirts in the back. And you'll notice that little thing dangling there is an inline spinner blade.
Dude.
Okay.
But there's no swivel.
Right.
It doesn't spin. So the reason why, when the water catches that blade and it's cupped backwards, it actually kicks like a kitek.
Oh. Okay.
So this whole bait rolls like a kitek when you pull it through the water because of that blade. So you have a little bit of jerkbait, crankbait, spinnerbait, spoon, all in one.
He's blended them.
I've got a lake that would.
A mastermind.
And
I would lose one of those to a pike on that same lake, but that would be.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah.
it only has the one hook on it, and that's for balance reasons. Like I said, I want it to be nose down.
It's such a
And
small.
I've tried to put a hook on the back. and it doesn't swim the same.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think you would need it.
You don't need it. They eat this whole thing whole.
Looking at it, they're gonna hit that kill dot. They're gonna know it's face first that every time.
Right.
The other thing I've been making more of, but I don't really even like to talk about it.
Why not? Look at the color pattern on this thing, people.
That is crazy. That's bluegill as hell.
Yeah,
It's sideways.
I know. What the sideways lures?
So it sits on the water sideways and has a propeller on the back.
Wee.
So when you pull it and it stops, the fish are looking directly at this.
Yeah.
I like that color pattern a lot. I mean, I think anybody would, but
I feel like for a top water type of deal too, like the way that's gonna sit, your hookup ratio is gonna be way better because of that treble. right there.
They destroy this.
yeah.
So
And
that's why I don't talk about it. I don't want anybody else to use them against me.
he tests all of his products out. Like he takes them on the water and he makes sure
Right.
like, they've got the right action and everything like that. So he's not just willy-nilly and then just shipping it out to you guys. Like he puts the time in.
Yeah, so every single lure that I make, I test. Although right now I've got a lot of backlog.
Well, there's ice.
So, like I said, I never make the same thing twice. So I've got a little bit of everything that going on. Weird shapes.
I'm gonna text you this weekend and be like, take photos and put them up on your damn website, dude.
I know, but I haven't tested them, so I can't put them on there.
I like that color. Well, get on it.
Smallies would hit that color hard.
Right?
So these are really tiny, like BFS type.
Yeah.
Ultralight.
I'm gonna have to put this one as a video on Spotify. It's because
So-
it's just a lot of show and baits, so I'm definitely have to put this. Remind me to do that.
I'll remind you. Does it have a
So
bell on it?
this has a cat bell on it.
Why?
Why not?
Okay.
Because it has a cat bell on it.
Why not? Yep.
Why not?
Throw you
I
cat.
put rattles on a plastic swim bait. It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
You cat and fishing enthusiasts. Psh, that's your
Popper,
lure.
pop.
You know what? Honestly, we should try that on Sunday, Janelle. We'll get some catnip and we'll rub it on our baits and see if the smell draws them in.
Or just get a bell and just dip it in
Yeah.
the water and ding a ding a ding.
Honestly, no, you know what though? Honestly, for ice fishing, if you were to take a cat bell with a treble hook and jig it, I bet you'd catch fish on it.
It is the dinner bell, Michael. That's
What
not-
is cat food made of?
Yeah.
What
It's mostly fish.
Okay.
It's
I was like-
a lot of cat food places actually up here. One of the things that they do is they the salmon that they
Dude.
catch in the fish hatchery and then they gut them for their eggs. They just throw them in a thing and they sell it to cat food and dog food stores.
Uh-oh. Look who... Mike, read that comment. No, out loud, you twat. Out.
I'm gonna put it on the
Reading
screen.
it silently.
So I have a buddy who is a bait painter right here in Vermont that was asking if you would be interested in a collaboration. So Stoneman and Sons is his particular
I think
brand.
I followed them on Instagram.
He's actually going to that trade show that I'm going to be at too. He's actually put stuff in Dark Horse boxes too. Like he's got a lot of stuff in the
Really?
Dark Horse boxes. Yeah.
You guys will have to link up after this because I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I can do a little introduction or
See,
Yeah,
look, we just made friends. Look at us.
I love making friends.
Me too. Oh, did I tell you guys that my stimulus check was shredded and now I have to wait 12 weeks to get $1,400? Oh my God, look at that
That looks
paint
good.
job. Sorry, I'm screaming into the
So
mic.
I can turn it up a notch or two when I want to.
Yeah.
that would
But
work good.
like I
I
said,
want-
a lot of the things I do are experimental. So I'm like, I don't even know if this will work.
Have you fished that yet? No? Yes? No?
This one I put in a bucket of water, but I haven't actually fished with it.
All right, let me know how it looks when you fish it. I might buy it.
I like how you did the head.
Right?
Like you did the head like a trout. Like a lot of people that make trout baits, they're not using a trout blank, so the head doesn't look as much. Like that actually has like the
Profile.
bulbous, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know, like the rounded of a trout.
I like it. I love the paint job on them.
It's a thick boy too.
Heyo, who
Yeah.
doesn't love one?
But I'll do here's the opposite. I'll do like paper thin baits too.
Yeah, yeah. He does them thick and he does them slim. I just want to paint one, then you can put it on up on your site.
Stoneman does some cool paint jobs too.
Why not?
Yeah,
Dabbled-
painting is my weakest part of the whole bait making process. I will
Doesn't-
never call myself a painter.
It doesn't seem that way.
I'm
That's
I'm
not
more
easy.
of
It's not easy.
a mess around and find out type.
You can say fuck around and find
I
out.
could say that. I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know if this was
I-
a family friendly podcast.
I have dropped so many. I'm sorry, I didn't really brief Adam for any of this either. I should have just came over and we could have just done this and yeah, that's just a smaller
Yeah, that's
version.
color, yeah, like that.
I like that color a lot.
So this one caught a 4-pounder,
I don't doubt that it called a 4-pounder.
but this was like my first like generation of like, look how like square it is.
Yeah, Mr. Stoneman and Sons Lures Co. said, "Your paint looks great to me!" Exclamation point.
Oh, thank you very much, but I feel it's amateur at best. I try hard.
Well, you need to start. It's 2025. You need to start giving yourself more credit, sir. I'll be your hype woman. Oh, that has a little
That's-
chartreuse line in
That's
it.
got like a little pro blue with a chartreuse line on it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's a deadly color, though.
That would work good. That's like
Come on now.
Yeah,
Money.
so I've had fish swipe at this one, but I haven't actually caught any on it yet.
Okay. But hey,
that's the thing about swim baits though. A lot of times they draw fish almost more than they catch fish, but then you can follow it up with another bait.
right.
Can you hear that?
I can hear it.
Balsa, don't make that noise.
Balsa, don't make that noise, boys. Sexy shad.
Yeah, it's
Cypress.
Cypress.
Cypress is probably more resilient to water too, right? Because it's
Definitely, 100%.
It's like a darker.
I like that
Yeah.
too.
Darker trout.
I like the spots. I love a spot.
That-
Now,
That one has a lip on it.
are those spots airbrushed or wait? Do you want to give away your secrets or no?
Yeah, I can give away a secret because
Are-
it's a terrible secret.
Are they airbrushed or is it like the back of a paintbrush dot? Do you know what
So-
I'm talking about?
I'm so stupid. I wasn't using the back of a paintbrush for the longest time. I was using a Q-tip.
That works
Okay.
too, though. That works too.
You'd be
The
surprised.
Q-tip is very uncontrollable.
Yeah.
A lot. You'd be surprised. I've talked to a lot of bait painters that do stuff like pantyhose to make gills and stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah.
I'm always on the lookout for a good mesh. Like I'll be walking through the grocery store. I'm like, I don't need garlic, but that bag right there,
That's how I look
looking
at
good
shit,
right
too.
now.
Yeah.
probably looks weird when you go to the hardware store and buy like fishnet stockings and then stuff to make artwork.
Right,
for the bait.
right.
It's like I got fish hooks, fishnet stockings, some wire,
Paint,
paint.
swivels, sparkly things.
So I don't really do a lot of saltwater, but I'll get requests from guys who do saltwater. Like, hey, can you make me a herring?
Right. That's a good profile size too for stripey boys or
Yeah.
other.
So I'll make stuff like that. And I'll just experiment. And sometimes I'll take designs from like known makers and try to either improve on them or learn how they made their bait.
Right.
And it kind of gives you respect for like what they did to get to where they are at whatever point in their journey they are. Because it is hard as hell to copy a lure. Unless you have a factory over in China that's like with a laser beam.
Yeah.
Pete Stoneman says garlic bags are great for scales.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, a good
He knows about the garlic bag trick.
point.
Oh my goodness.
I got the laundry bags. I got the garlic bags. I got the pantyhose. I got them all.
The craft mesh from Michaels, they have like the different thicknesses. I forget what it's called.
You know how much
Work there.
stuff I own
Tool.
from Michaels? I buy more
Tool.
stuff from Michaels than my wife does for weird bank tinkering stuff.
I don't even have anything to show you right now. But tool. Anyway, window screening. I used my cousin's fishnet stockings for my cup. Oh, the crappie.
So this was commissioned. This was one of the first baits I ever made. And
Fin
it's big. This thing is like 6 or 7 ounces,
Yeah, that looks
made of pure cedar. But the guy gave me a picture of a crap, and he's like, "I want it exactly like that."
Mm.
Here
Isn't
we
that
are, 5 years later. He didn't pay me.
I was gonna say, isn't that the guy that didn't pay you?
Yeah, I still got it. Still got it.
Adam, apparently used dryer sheets make cool patterns as well.
Really?
I'm just don't shoot the messenger, but
About
I'll
to
tell
go
you
to
what,
laundry room right now.
look at that. Yeah, that's a deadly color too. Like
yeah, that color would work really well around here for sure.
So
Again, that
a lot
lake.
of people make fun of the brush tail.
I like
No,
the brush tails
I
better.
like it too. I like the way that you cut that one.
Personally, I like the brush tails better than like the rubber ones because they're more resilient. When something like around here, we have a lot of pike pickerel, and when pike hits those rubber tails,
Go on.
they shred them.
Wind.
But those, it's funny because I've got some of those from eBay that even when they get like they pull some of the stuff out, they still work fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're more resilient in my mind.
So there are 3 different types of tails that I've played with, and one of them is like a hard tail, made out of like Lexan polycarbonate.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. I read
So
that.
that's the same as like a diving lip on a crankbait.
Nice.
I've played with the brush tail,
There you go.
and I've played with like the soft plastic tail, like a worm or whatever you want to use.
Right.
You definitely are a disadvantage for durability with the rubber tail. No doubt about it. It falls off, it gets ripped off easier. But it does have more action in the water when it's swimming. So you have an advantage there in regard to motion. The brush tail kind of splits the difference between the hard tail, which is extremely durable, but catches a lot of water and has no give to it at all. So if you use a hard tail, it actually adds to the glide distance of a glide bait.
Like a rudder.
But if you were to make like a diving bait, it would actually mess up the action of the bait because there's no give to it at all, and it causes like all that water resistance. Where the brush tail, it just lets the water go right through,
right,
because it's softer.
So like there's a give and take to everything.
Yeah, so the brush tail is kind of like an in between. It's stiff, but it's not so stiff that it's gonna cause any water resistance to the hinder the action of the bait.
Right. Yeah.
So
what did he say? Oh,
people make fun of that all the time. I don't know why.
Well, tell those people to shut up. Mr. Stoneman said, use the dryer sheet as a background texture, and then details on. Did I get that right? Background
Okay,
texture with the dryer.
That's an awesome tip.
Yeah, we can definitely get you guys connected.
Yeah, you two need to be buds. Ooh, is that a saltwater, like a pencil popper?
Yeah,
thing?
so this was intended to be a saltwater. It's got a double propeller on the back.
Damn, look at that. It's a serious
Somebody
propeller.
wanted me to build this for them, and again, they didn't pay me.
You know what, Adam? We need to change that. Ooh,
Surf popper. I thought that it would be funny to have a 2-color, mouth.
Wait,
I just watched Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, oh, Sonic and Tails.
Maybe you just like a replaceable tail. I feel like replaceable tails have got to be difficult. Maybe that's 2026's trial.
So, for replaceable tail, what I've been doing is I've been doing a corkscrew out the back of the bait, like a pigtail.
Yep.
Made out of wire. Because if I can make a loop, I can make a curlicue.
Correct.
So I just have a slinky hanging out the back of the bait. I don't have any of them right now, right here, as far as I remember. Maybe.
But it's an option. I dig it. Might need some of those jigs for lake trout.
Those jigs could be.
Here's one. So that has a brush hog on the back of it.
Oh, it's a brush hog. That's interesting. Hold on. I like that.
But it's just corkscrewed on there.
You could do like a fluke for a straight tail. Just gonna unplug it. Ooh. Okay. To the right. There you go. That way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, bloop.
It's not a bad
Threshold.
idea. Right.
It was an idea. I painted it. I finished it. Not my thing.
He goes, it's all right.
Eh.
He's honest, ladies and gentlemen. He's honest.
I'm very honest because more often than not, the things that I make don't work. So the ones that do work are the ones that I put on my website and are for sale.
But you're
The
never
ones that are messed up, I kind of throw in a bin. I'm like, this is what not to do.
But the funny thing, like you said, you don't make the same thing twice, essentially, unless you're asked to. So it's not like you're just cranking out the same profile, same patterns,
Right.
whatever, and throwing a color on it. And so
Right.
that-
And I'll do custom stuff if like people are like, I want a bluegill and I want it to be this long and pink. Okay, I can do that. So one guy asked me for 3 baits. He wanted a clown, he wanted a black, blue, and red, and he wanted a pink bluegill. And the pink bluegill, that's not something I would ever make for myself. But okay, whatever. That's what he wanted.
yeah.
I made him the pink bluegill. I took it out to test it. The first cast I made with it immediately caught a largemouth bass.
Wow.
And then I had to cut it off because I'm like, this isn't my lure. I shouldn't be catching fish with other people's lures. I had to put it away.
Huh. It's interesting.
But the black and blue one and the clown one worked great too. They didn't catch a fish like the pink one did. So
Pink has an
he's got a
interesting
money
history.
bluegill right now.
yeah, pink has
So
an
if you get a bait from me and it has bite marks on it, it's not because I used it all day. I caught one fish on it because it was like suicidal and wanted to eat whatever I threw at it on the first cast.
you test it out. I mean, you make sure that the product
Right.
is going to swim right and that it works. And if you catch fish on it, I mean, you can't say it doesn't work.
Yeah. I'll make other things too. Like I'll make inline spinners. But people don't really buy these from me.
Ooh. Why not? Pickerel would kill
it-
that. Trout.
I'm sure that they would catch fish on it, but there's just so many other options out there on the market for an
There's
inline spinner.
There's so many inexpensive retail options that
Yeah, that's true.
You can go to Walmart and buy a rooster tail right now for $2.97.
Yeah, $2.97. Remember when they were not that much? No, I'm just kidding. That's not terrible.
Yeah, so I don't really actively sell those. And then I'll talk about the secret menu. And I showed you guys this a little earlier. I don't know if this was on stream, but
The secret.
I'll do hair jigs.
Yeah.
Those would definitely work around here.
Me like.
And a lot of people like my hair jigs a lot. In fact, my fishing club, I fish in a multi-species club where we don't just fish for bass, but we fish for anything that will bite. And like we'll weigh in crappie and pickerel and bluegill and perch. My hair jigs are the hottest lure in my club. And every tournament, I have people begging me for more. Literally begging me.
Why
Like,
am I?
can you please make me one with like white and yellow and a little bit of gold in it?
Why
So
am
then I
I?
have to go out and buy like gold.
Why am I not in this fishing club group? Is it just guys only, or?
No, you're not in it because you haven't shown up yet.
Well, drop me the
We
ad.
actually have people in kayaks.
Let's
and
go.
So there's one dude who comes in, and he's really good. He's actually one of our top anglers this year because we do fall through spring and summer is our season. So we already had 5 tournaments. He tows I don't want to say it's a dog crate, but it's like something like that with like pool noodles around it.
Okay.
And he's just like dumping fish in the top of this crate
Laundry
and like
basket.
paddling around with it behind him.
A laundry basket. or
Probably a
something.
laundry basket. I've seen guys do that. It's a laundry basket with pool noodles usually.
It works.
It
They use
worked. Well,
they
the
use it as a
first
live
one
well.
that he had, the fish got out.
I was
So
gonna say.
that one didn't work. I think that was a legit laundry basket. But this one, it's like a cage,
Huh.
and I swear it's a dog crate. I don't know what it
It
is.
could be a crab pot.
It could be a crab pot.
It
Yeah.
could be.
Wow.
It's enormous. It's half the length of his kayak.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of videos of guys making like homemade live wells with like little mesh crates with like pool noodles.
Yeah, so he's fishing in our club this year, and he's a really cool guy. He's doing well. But the one tournament that I won that he was competing in, I took my 14-foot John boat up a tiny creek, and he couldn't get up there because he was towing his crate behind him.
Yep. I would have
He couldn't get through.
That's funny.
So usually the kayaker who would be going up the creek that nobody else can get through, he was stuck because of his crate.
Sounds like a something so heavy to drag. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, he's thinking about buying a boat for sure.
Ugh. Then you can put a cooler in there. I mean, my whole live well, Adam. My whole live well in the back.
He was just testing the finish to make sure.
Yeah.
See how good his finish holds up? He
no.
didn't chip that bait at all when he dropped it.
No damage.
Quality item, Clark. That's
that was exactly the demonstration we were trying to show you guys, is how good his finish is. His clear coat did not chip.
How do I get in? No, I want to know how to get in this group.
So it's called Philadelphia Bass Busters. You can go to our website,
philadelphiabassbusters.something.com.
Org? I think we're an org. We might be an org. I don't think it's .com.
What is it called? Philadelphia. You might want to be careful. Turn your volume off if you're just Googling Philadelphia Bass Busters. You might get some site that you don't want.
Yeah, you might. Don't want to go to the Ass Buster site.
Yeah, I say you want to type that wrong.
Look, it's Adam.
Yeah, that's me with the championship.
This is all like the Instagram posts and shit that you put up all the time that I don't really read, but I look at them briefly.
Yes. So every time you see me holding that card that says first place, I know it looks like I'm wearing the same outfit, but I won all those tournaments.
Nice job. That's Michael's trick. All he does. That's Mike. You're on this.
So another YouTube trick is
can't do this.
And I'm completely transparent about this stuff. Is like if you have, and I'm doing more storytelling so I can get away with making a video, but I have 3 shirts that I wear when I'm fishing.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
because if you wear the same 3 shirts when you're fishing, you could take 2-3 days and make one video if you want to make a specific type of video. So sometimes I'll be talking about like jerk baits. Well, the way content creation works is if you leave the ramp with the intention of making a jerkbait video, the fish all band together and decide that they will not eat a jerkbait that day. It is just Murphy's Law of how that works. So what I'll do is I'll film like the first day. I'll be like, okay, guys, we're going to talk about the technique to fish a jerkbait. And then I'll show you that. And then if I don't catch any fish, 4 days later when I catch fish on a jerkbait, I'm like, see, it works. Because I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing in the intro video. So
if you wear an AM Angler shirt every day, you won't have to worry about that either.
So I'm coming from work. I wear the same crap in the office that I do on the water.
Fish window.
I'm literally wearing an FX hoodie and an FX fishing shirt. And that's what I wore to the office today.
The hoodie that I'm wearing, I'm actually going to put... so this February when I go on my scrapbook trip, I'm putting my YouTube name on a bunch of different stuff. So this is like my colors. Orange.
Yeah, so I came up with this logo and this t-shirt and the saying that's on the t-shirt, we rise before the tide, as a joke. Everybody was like jumping on like the Salt Life bandwagon stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I could be Salt Life. AM Anglers, we rise before the tide. We're like morning fishing. That's what everybody gets up for, right?
Yep.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make any sense. We rise before the tide. The tide changes every day.
Right. What is that question?
So it's a big joke, and I sell the shirts for $11.59, which is an arbitrary number for most people, but it's the last minute before morning is over.
Oh my God, he's a genius, ladies and gentlemen.
AM Anglers.
AM Anglers.
11.59 T-shirt for the rest of time.
You motherfucker. See? He's smart. I'm
But
slow.
I don't promote it. I don't promote it very well, so nobody buys any T-shirts. It's a cool
Yeah.
logo.
Well, you get on your damn business game. Everybody in this chat, go buy a damn shirt. I can't right
But-
now because I only have $5 in my bank account. But
She needs to have money for gas to drive.
Right.
I literally, yeah.
So the logo is a hook and a wave, but it actually makes my initials. It's an A and an M together.
This guy. See, you have the business side. It's there. The creative genius, you.
Yeah,
Marketing.
the whole promotion side of everything, it feels very sleazy to me, and I don't like that.
I get that. Sorry, my cat just had a spaz.
But I thought it'd be funny to be an influencer, so I made my own T-shirts.
That's what I did.
I got my own stickers. You know, people rock them on their truck. I see them going by. I'm like, oh, that's my bait company.
It is funny. Hold on, I got business cards.
Like
There.
I can even make bobbers. Can you tell what that is?
It's a middle finger, buddy.
Yeah, so you're giving the finger to the fish when they pull it under.
That's awesome.
Let's make something awesome. What is that? Dragonfly looking motherfucker?
Dragonfly.
Okay. Look at me. I know my shit. Is that a clothespin?
It is, but I took it apart. I reversed it.
See, look, I could be a lore maker.
Anybody could be a lore maker.
Anybody can do it. Adam, are you familiar with Matthew? I do not know how to pronounce blah blah do. South Jersey fisherman. He's a big swim bait guy.
Matthew Acevedo?
That's apparent. Yep. Are you best
Yeah.
friends? Yeah.
We're tight. We're actually in the same group chat for a while. It was all about like high-end baits and JDM stuff and like what's happening in the fishing industry. But it kind of fizzled out, so I left the group.
Oh.
I
Okay.
mean, if it was about what's happening in the fishing industry, it's just a bunch of people arguing over whether or not forward-facing sonar is ruining it or not.
Yeah, it's like everybody just wants to talk about magic minnows, and I'm not interested in that because I'm over here building my own lures in my garage.
Right. And if you're a kayak angler, why don't you just buy a boat? A lot
That
of that.
too.
Anyway.
Why don't you buy a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Quit paddling places.
I pedal now, fuckers.
Yeah, when
I caught a fish on this, but I'm not really real happy with it.
Okay. But it still looks nice.
It worked.
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
But
now, Mike, I will tell you, Adam's from South Jersey, so he has run into a snakehead or two in his life. Correct?
I have, and I have opinions about snakeheads that people do not like.
Oh God. Are we gonna not be friends after this segment? Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
So I have a background in fisheries science. I actually went to Virginia Tech for fisheries science as a major.
Fancy. Okay.
So I have a background in biology. And when the biologists have a decree that says you should eliminate a snakehead when you catch it, I think that we should follow that. Not because it's destroying the bass fishery, not because snakehead fish bad, but because snakeheads actually don't belong here in our ecosystems. I know they've been here for about 20 years or so, and people are saying, oh, they haven't done any damage. They haven't done any damage yet. And the problem that I have with this fish is its adaptability and its ability to spread. I truly believe that they can move in the sewer systems. They can go subterranean.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody believes this. They're like, oh, it's a fish. It can't do that. It can't walk across land. It can't do all the things that people say. I believe it can. And if I watch these videos from Asia when they have like the dry season, and you've got a guy who's like pouring Coca-Cola in a hole, and then all the snakeheads like pop out of it and lungfish or whatever else. How are they living under dry land?
Okay.
So it's a frightening thought to me that these fish can overpopulate without some type of human intervention.
They will eat your children.
Yeah, so I'm not on that extreme
He's
side.
not.
And when I say these things, that I tell people you should dispatch a snakehead if you catch it. They think that I'm just a bad guy and that I'm an idiot who thinks that they're eating the largemouth. That's not the case. It's a
Okay.
much bigger problem. It's a much longer term problem that we have to look at with like a sane mind and not say, okay, I shouldn't harvest this fish or I should harvest this fish because of whatever situation I'm in. It's a pond, it's a river, wherever it is.
Right.
If you take one breeding adult out of the population, you've eliminated 4 potential spawns from that fish for that year. You're not eliminating the problem entirely, but you're eliminating all of its offspring or potential offspring for the rest of its time.
Mike said he was
So-
just busting balls. Also, Stoneman said snakehead is delicious. That's all that mattered.
We should.
That is a fact for everybody who has ever tried one. They all say that they're delicious and that it's a white flaky meat and that they're good to eat.
So what you're telling me is that when I come down in the spring to fish the
Kill 'em
Janelle,
all.
we need to do a catch and cook then.
I recommend doing a catch and cook. I don't think that you shouldn't. I mean, that sounds like a great idea. I recommend it to anybody who catches
Now,
one.
Janelle, this is what we're gonna do, and she's gonna laugh her ass
There he
off.
fucking goes.
I'm gonna send you a text message, and you're actually gonna go check the water before I
Nope.
drive 5.5 hours.
No.
Check the water for
Yeah,
what?
she
Actual
had
water?
Bobby drive down for 5.5 hours to open water fish, but never bothered.
Bobby, I know you're gonna
the ice.
fucking watch this shit. You were watching the weather more than I was. You could have been like, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be down here because you guys got cold.
I'm watching this content the whole time laughing because I could see Bobby's face, but I know Bobby well enough to know what's in his head. And I know Janelle is just sitting there like the scolded child, like trying to.
Oh, you'll see it in my video. It's like we're in his truck and we're like bickering like a fucking married couple. But also, he made the campground reservation thing, so I had no control to like cancel it or to. He was looking at it more than I was.
I was just when I found out you guys didn't get to fish at all, I was like, oh man.
Sorry, Bobby.
No, that's one thing though. That like the cool thing about Janelle's content though is, and there's going to be a lot more of it, is that her content isn't really fishing dependent. It's really about the story and the journey. So like that for you wasn't a big deal. That is cool. I want one of those things.
Yeah, that is gnarly.
I definitely want to check one of those out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, most people make fun of these because of the way that they look.
No, I want one.
I think, yeah. I need that in like a perch color and like that shad with the chartreuse line on it. What are you doing?
That and either like a pro blue or a perch color.
Everybody say hi to my
Like
dad.
that right there.
Hi, Dad.
That right there. Hi.
I can definitely do a better perch than that, so.
He just comes creeping down. Sorry, I'm so sorry. See, we are so legit.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a video episode on Spotify because no one can understand half of what's going on.
Yeah, that's sick.
Welcome date.
Yep, I like that.
I agree. I can agree with what Adam is saying on the snakehead. I just have such a hard time killing an animal. I know I hunt and all, but I've only ever taken one. Like,
I was gonna say you're a hunter.
I know, but I've only ever killed one doe, and the 2 that I've shot and injured, I feel terrible about.
Well, if you have a snakehead captured, you're not going to feel terrible about it. You're going to feel very happy and satisfied because you ate it.
I gotta bring it home for my dad to clean it.
I will say that's kind of my own like personal thing too, though, is like people who like eat it or find someone who will eat it. Like just cutting its throat and throwing it up on the bank's a little weird to me, just because
no.
Baseball.
I would take it. I would bring like a trash bag and I would take it home and.
But that's the thing is like
or leave it for the birds. Like what do you do? But what if it has eggs in it? Because then those eggs are going back into the
Well, that's the
ecosystem.
thing with those too, is you can't just like there's places here that people will throw like pike
cute.
up on the bank because they're not supposed to be
Why?
in there.
Fuck those people.
There's a lake. It's actually funny. There's a lake in New York. It's a man-made lake that they specifically stock with rainbows and
Well,
browns,
that's nice too.
and they meant it to be a trout fishery, and someone introduced pike into this trout lake.
Okay, well that's fucked up.
There's no other predators in this fucking trout lake, so like they can't get the pike out of there now because the pike has zero there's no bass. There's like very few bass. There's some, but like not enough, and they're all small because the pike outcompete them because they got so many pike in there that are like 30-40 inch pike that can't. They're just going to destroy the trout population.
I understand. I understand. That's nice. Both sides of the argument. It's a tough call. Like it's I don't know. It's a tough call because he's right. Like down the line, it could be devastating. Just like the people that didn't know way back when introducing certain fish into certain systems, like that it was going to destroy it. But
So to
I
play
don't know.
devil's advocate, though, the bass isn't native to New England.
Right. Listen, we could play devil's advocate all day.
So you know what I mean?
Back-
Like the turkey is not a New England bird. They
But
brought it here
here's
to
the
get rid of
thing.
ticks.
Uh-oh, here he comes. Here he
Is
comes.
it more likely that a largemouth bass would make it to New Jersey or to New England via some natural method,
Yeah,
like a
true.
bird or what have you,
Yeah,
than a snakehead making it here from mainland China?
that's no, and I agree. So like
Ayo.
the big thing
So-
we have up here right now is gobies.
Yeah.
Right, so-
They say they're getting into Champlain.
Gobies would not be here unless it was for humans
Yeah.
bringing them here over, the ocean.
I feel like Stoneman's getting heated over here.
Largemouth and smallmouth aren't
native to most unit.
I
Listen,
like that pattern right there.
we could do this. I mean, we could talk about feral pigs. You know, pigs being brought over.
Yeah, when you were
Right.
talking about that in the video, you got pigs down in
There's a
Jersey now?
sign on Wharton State Forest that says, "Beware feral hogs." And I said, "What?
Are they
Is
open
that
season?
a switch bait?" I don't know.
Are you sure that's not just for the pineys that live down there? Oh, Mike doesn't know what a piney is.
I
does
didn't really understand what a piney was either, but I met a few. Are those twitch baits? Somebody just asked. And that one blade on the back. No,
I call them the swagger.
Yeah, that's what he calls them. The swagger.
The swagger 2.0. It's only 2 inches long.
We're
I
the most-
believe Weird Beard Fishing coined that for me,
Oh, okay.
but I just been running with it because I'm like, okay, that's the appropriate name for it, based upon how it acts in the water.
Right.
I have lots of videos of it on my YouTube and my Instagram.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just gonna say this, everybody. We are floating in an infinite universe on a rock. Okay,
True.
like everybody, if anybody wants to argue right now, we're just floating
So
on a
now
rock.
you need to find out.
Did I
if
send the
there's-
chat into an argument?
Yeah,
No.
we're all gonna die. Fun fact.
Yeah.
What, Michael?
So you should find out if
Okay.
so a lot of times places that get pigs that are invasive, they are open season. We
I
should
don't need to go down there and start blowing up pig
Why
heads
not?
and shit.
Why not?
Like I'm
Yo, I
not.
love pork. Pork
I don't-
Seriously.
sandwich.
Seriously, think about how much bacon we could have.
The only thing I
Oh
would
my
want-
gosh, bacon for breakfast?
Wild bacon?
Wild bacon. With
Catch it,
Vermont maple?
Kill, catch, and
Get-
eat. Me and you running around with guns. You'd probably end up trying to shoot me by the end
No,
of
I
the
don't
trip.
want. I don't want any part of that. I saw that one. That was dope. Me and you running around.
You know how
with
they
guns.
hunt those down south with like AR-15s and crap.
Yes, I know, Michael. I would shoot you in the ass so fast if you pissed
Probably.
me off.
I just, you know what I really want? Honestly, I just
Okay.
want the video of like me running, scared out of the woods, going, "It's a pig! It's a pig!" like Timon and Pumbaa. I'm like, "It's trying to eat me!" And then
Oh
you're
yeah.
just
What do you want me to do? Dress and drag and do the hula?
Yeah, exactly. Like we could make that video. We really could.
We really could. I know who Timon and I know who Pumbaa are.
Could
Yeah,
definitely-
So-
Adam's awesome.
Fun story with this one. I'd gotten done this entire paint job,
hmm
and I accidentally touched it with a finger print, and it got a white splotch on it.
That's okay because it looks like an injured fish. Or
So
just-
I put more white splotches on it on purpose,
There you go. Covered it
Yeah.
up.
and then I caught a fish with it first cast.
I will
What?
say, to be honest, I mean, paint jobs are cool, but a lot of times the paint job's more for us. The fish doesn't necessarily always.
Accurate. Accurate.
Yeah, so
But-
If you carve it right and it has the right action,
what's that?
does that make a JDM?
it does.
It's a JDM.
So-
original.
Oh my
So
god.
I'll write kanji on some of my baits, and this means in Japanese. So it doesn't really translate well, but it kind of means like yum or tasty,
Okay.
delicious.
Delicious.
I
So
bet
I'm
the
trying to tell the
snakehead
fish
read
that-
because they can actually read it, right? Because
Oh my god.
Right, Japanese. I'm trying to catch some Japanese fish here.
yeah, I tell you, just
Sushi.
It's been an hour and a half, an hour and 11 minutes.
she's like, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm having a good time. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, Adam, do you fish Woodbury Lake often?
I do. In fact, did I win that tournament this year? I think I came in second.
I heard they have snakehead. I haven't
They
fished,
do.
I haven't fished there since I was like 17 on my first kayak. I went there once.
So I caught a 3.5 pound snakehead during my tournament there. I waded in,
Nice.
and then we filleted it, and it was still alive after we filleted it.
Okay, that's the other thing that fucking
Those things are
scares me.
creepy.
Bobby took a Bowie knife to its neck, and the whole time it was still kicking while it was strapped to the side of his kayak.
Yeah, the only way to really eliminate them is to sever the spinal cord.
Okay, sorry, Michael. I know that might upset you or Stoneman. I've never. We
all
only
right.
killed the one. Okay, we have a
Unfortunately, it was full of worms, right, or something, and you couldn't eat it.
details in the pattern
Yeah.
matter so much. It's the color that make the difference. We could say that that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, we could say that.
Okay.
That's on record for the folks at home. I need to fish
So-
Woodbury Lake more often. I'm not telling you. Oh, what? Ooh.
This is the biggest swim bait I've made. It's 10 inches long. It has 3/0 musky hooks on it.
Jesus Christmas.
It's really heavy.
Yeah, I'm good. I got nothing to throw that on. Maybe my surf rod.
Can you see all the rods I have behind me?
I can. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm not counting them.
That here,
Oh.
I'll rotate you. There's
Yeah.
more
No,
in the
well,
corner.
just keep.
And then there's more in the truck and more in the boat and
I have
in the garage.
swim bait rod I've never even used because I don't have any baits big enough to throw with it, so I don't bother.
I have 5 of them.
Holy crap! Well, I mean, you make them, so it makes sense that you would
Right.
have.
So then I have a swim bait on each one that
a lot of guys just
I-
use like musky rods anyways to throw swim baits just because they're
Yeah.
So I made that.
that's cool.
Big head.
That's
thing?
that's a wooden jig head
It's like a
line through
That's cool.
and has that pigtail, that screw on it to hold the
Swim bait.
Kitech, and then I buried a treble hook in the back of it.
See,
It has really cool action. It kind of like does this in the water.
I'm about it. Yeah, I use like a 7 something like heavy casting rod from Favorite, but apparently Bass Pro Shops has like a $50 swim bait rod option that I might upgrade to this year.
Yeah.
So
Especially
if you're in the market for a swim bait rod and you want a good quality stick that isn't too expensive, I like these eye rods.
Mhm.
They're green
I like the green.
and they throw baits like that really nicely.
An eye rod.
And I'm a big fan of these older metal
gonna
reels
say,
from
holy
Quantum.
Crap, dude, that is like
Dude.
old school.
Yeah. I don't have any. Of
I'm
those.
old school. I've been fishing since the 90s. So I've got like Bill Dance's original Quantum US Tour edition on my wall over here.
He was a scam. He said, "See you later." Boy, sorry.
But you can get these round reels off eBay for under $20.
Cast King
And
actually makes them now.
Let's go.
but they're all metal. They have big spool capacity, and they throw a swim bait better than anything else you could buy on the market right now for almost 3 times as much.
Is there a left-hand retrieve one, or are they all
They
right-handed?
do have lefty ones,
Shut the front door, Adam.
Those actually
and
work.
they're this is back when Quantum was made in Japan,
Yeah.
so they have all Japanese gearing inside and bearings.
Those actually work
So-
really good for like trolling too. Using them for like trolling for trout and stuff because they have
that
a
was
lot
my
better
second.
gears.
And my second question.
So now go check out eBay for Quantum irons and Quantum US Tour editions if you want a good swim bait reel that's not too expensive.
Wait till after our trip because you need money for gas to get to Vermont.
Buddy.
And they sit lower on the rod than any of the other like Abu Garcias. Swedish reels, I know we're kind of really getting in depth here,
That's
sit
okay.
on top of the rod, whereas the Japanese ones, the reel seat is actually a little bit recessed, so it sits in your hand a lot better than any of the Abu Garcias that sit on top of the rod.
Makes
IR.
sense.
The IR3. I'm sorry, I'm just over here.
300.
God, this thing looks old.
Well, yeah,
This is actually a 400.
that's the original bait caster. That's what they were before they became
Yeah.
what they are now.
Old.
That's what Bill Dance was using and catching all those fish at that same pond that he ever always fished.
Yeah.
I'm going fishing with Bill.
Bill Dance today.
Michael, why didn't you sing the song? Round reels
But
are
I caught-
great baits. I have a couple. Sorry.
I caught a 6-pounder on this exact rig earlier this year. It was my biggest fish of the year.
We will, me and you, Mr. Adam, we are going to have to plan an actual trip where we go out on your boat.
Which
This
boat? Which boat?
Yes.
Which boat? I've got kayaks. I've got a pond prowler. I've got a John boat. I've got a private lake.
I know. I'm camping on your private lake this year. You better believe that property I'm going to be at. We can do a kayak send and big boat send. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds good to me because I haven't been out there on a kayak yet. There's so much more water I haven't explored because I can't really get to it with the boat.
Yep. Let's go.
So
Let's do
that'll
it.
be awesome.
I also need a truck. Does anybody have like a free truck they want to?
You have
I don't know about free.
I either need to sell my Matrix and get whatever I can get.
How much you want for that Matrix? Doing deals?
Enough for a truck. I don't know. Ford fucking Ranger at this point. What you got? Ooh.
Bluegill glide bait
Ooh.
That's nice too, like that.
in the AM Anglers custom box from the Dollar Tree.
That's right. Don't give away all your secrets now.
Well, the stickers are $2.
There you go.
The box is less.
Nice.
There you go. That's fine. I like it. It works, right? Keeps your baits organized.
Boom.
Let's talk.
Swim bait.
I still hate all of the options for spinnerbait storage. I hate it. I hate the
What?
I hate binders. I hate tackle boxes. I hate it all. What do you got?
So
He's got
back
the
in the
CD
day, they sold CD cases that
Mhm.
you would keep your Linkin Park CD in,
Yep. Or
And
Avril
your,
Lavigne.
and your Eminem CD.
your Eminem, your Limp Bizkit. But now I keep spinner baits in them.
But I don't like that.
Why not?
And I just don't like having to go into the bag for it.
I have my gold one. I have my white one. I have my
Wait,
chartreuse
what?
one.
What?
I don't like it being organized and having to
don't-
go into the bag for it.
Hold
What?
on.
What?
So I don't just fish with my own baits. I fish with whatever will work.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that spinner baits don't work, but they don't work in tournaments.
I've never caught a fish on spinnerbait. Not once. I've tried.
I'm not surprised.
Matter of fact, I've had more spinnerbaits go rusty because I didn't catch fish on them and I forgot to dry them off before I put them away.
You forgot you even own them.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
ruined
that-
so many spinnerbaits because I bought them and then just not used them.
That's kind of where I am with them now, but I've kind of moved on to a chatterbait now for tournament fishing.
I pretty much predominantly use chatterbait.
I do too.
And the reason why the chatterbait I think works better than the spinnerbait is because it works on its own as a jig.
Yeah.
There's no constant motion.
It
It is in motion when you move it, but when you kill it, it sinks and there's no action, there's no flash, there's no nothing. It's just a jig at that point.
Yeah.
So
Here's-
jigs work really well. I love jigs. But now you've added like a little bit more action to a jig, and I think that's why the chatterbait is more effective in high pressure situations than a spinnerbait is.
I want a tackle box that gives me the bigger size sections. Like I want 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6.
It's called Busby.
Do they make one that's like this though?
They make customizable boxes. Yeah. They're
But I don't-
expensive as
They're so
I
expensive.
don't want them expensive. Because
They're
then I
Dollar
have
Tree.
these.
I guarantee you can go find like Busby with like 17 Z's on Temu and then just
Yeah.
buy one off there.
This one.
I don't
Is
buy
either-
anything off email.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure Janelle exclusively shops at Temu, but
That's all what's in my budget.
she'll
So
be
this
like,
is-
"Hey, I bought this box." I'm like, "Oh, that's the Cast King box," and she goes, "Wow, kinda."
I got
I'm like,
this
where'd
off
you
of
get a yellow, blue, and green one?"
Temu or AliExpress. I can't remember which one this was, but it's the exact same thing. Fuck off. But again,
She's
it
like,
doesn't
I got
have
it on TikTok shop.
those. Whatever. Fucking. We don't all have a 9 to 5 like you, asshole.
That's true.
I want this profile with 6 dividers.
Check Harbor Freight.
Check Harbor.
I will
Girl.
say, they have hard case boxes for tools and stuff that actually work really good for store and tackle. They really do.
I don't like. That is very nice, Adam. I don't like having like with the binders. I just don't like having to like fit it in the bag. Listen, I have the attention span of a fucking angry
I don't like fitting it in the
rabid
bag, huh?
squirrel. No, I don't like having to like feed this in there. I just want to fucking open it up, grab it, and go. So that's where I'm at.
If
Anyway,
you have an option for spinnerbait box, hit up Enthusiast Adventure on Instagram.
well, I've
Send her
I've
options.
thought about
Blow
dremeling
her
out.
phone up.
I've thought about literally taking a Dremel and like
It'll
cutting
crack.
these.
Cutting
It'll
out your
crack.
own.
No,
Let me tell you the story about. I'll show you when that
Mm,
box I made. It cracks.
it cracks. Fucking son of. Sorry, it's not.
Because
child
where
friendly.
it's put into the bottom, when you get down close to where it connects to the bottom, it reacts weird and cracks.
To the heat, or like if I use
Just-
a regular handsaw, it'll still do
Just
that.
yeah, because the vibration it causes it to it flexes. Plano makes like open container boxes that you can make your own customizable.
they're
Yeah,
probably
they just
expensive.
make anything molded.
Yeah.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, what you could do is if you take a regular like Plano storage box and then you can hot glue the dividers to the shape you want.
Did you say a regular?
A regular.
Regular.
Yeah.
Because then you have
Regular
this one
crankbait.
that they like drop down in.
Those are cool, but I never really had good luck with those.
I have like an inexpensive one. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not here to shop. I'm here to talk about Adam's gold, brown, whatever that thing is. It's got yellow eyes. Looks very cartoony.
There's so many things in this episode that I'm gonna have to be careful not to clip out into shorts because you're talking about Adam's gold brown thing and.
Shut up. Oh, that was my knee. That did not feel good.
Remember I was talking about mahogany?
Yes.
The brown is actually the wood grain from the wood.
Nice. I hit the funny part of my knee. Everybody hit the funny bone on their knee.
Color shift back.
Color shift. Anyway, you want to know what else I've been thinking? Oh, I don't even know if I should tell you guys. I'll tell you guys. I'm going to show you in a second. Continue, Adam. What do you got? That? Ooh.
Deep
Timeout.
diver.
That looks like it'll catch a walleye.
Yeah, definitely walleye profile.
I use dollar store pencil cases. It
Yep.
clips into the 3-ring binder for your spinner baits. That was something I thought about for my glide baits or my bigger baits. Here's the other thing with Janelle, and I've talked about this with Mike in depth. Because I'm going to be traveling a lot out of the bus, my crate has to be as mobile and as portable and as packable. What?
I laugh because me and you have had about 20 like if you guys understand, the reason why I'm laughing is because I've gotten so many text messages that have been like, how about this toolbox with wheels that I want to put baits in? I'm like, why do you need a toolbox with wheels? And she's like, because I'm gonna be traveling and I gotta carry everything. I've just seen so many like unconventional storage methods for tackle because of what she's trying to think of doing.
You should see the ice bucket that I put. You should the redneckery that I have come up with for my redneckery of rigging for my ice fishing stuff. You're gonna die.
Did I tell you what I did for my camera?
No.
So it came with a clamp mount for the screen.
Okay.
I had a broken stick tip up, so I clamped it onto a tip up. And I don't like the idea of pulling the camera up and down with the cord that powers it. So I actually tied the tip up line to the fucking camera so that I can use the tip up to raise and lower
That's my
the
guy
bait.
right there.
So literally I'm sticking a stick tip
That's
up
nice.
in the water, in the hole, lowering the thing down with the actual spool from the tip up, and it's all contained right on one piece.
Nice.
And my fish finder box is a toolbox. I had actually upgraded it to a toolbox.
You guys ever see Jesus Christmas? You guys ever see these wheels that are for like
They're called casters.
They're bigger than that. These are for like John boats or like inflatable boats. I've been thinking about putting these on the back of my kayak.
Why?
Where
like the handles are, because they fold up and down. So I literally wouldn't have to have a crate. They would go on the back of the handle where you lift, and then they can fold up when they're out of the water or fold down, and I can just pick up the front and walk it around.
Where are you
I have
those?
PVC pipe with like wheels on it.
Yeah, you're better off. So with our kayak, you're actually better off with like a PVC pipe, run it down through on either side
Why?
of the pontoons.
Why?
Because you'd have to screw into your kayak where the water line is to put.
I'm aware.
So you're putting holes in something that goes in the water.
Silicone, baby.
Could you melt them to the kayak with like a Home Depot bucket and a blowtorch?
I could fucking baking powder and super glue the shit out of the whole perimeter if I really wanted to get serious.
That's how I make my lures.
I know it is. It's like my favorite hack of all time. I have that in my emergency kit if I ever get a hole in my kayak. Like a tube of baking
soda?
A tube of baking soda and super glue.
Tube?
Yeah. Tube.
Yeah, a tube. Yeah, they sell baking soda.
A tuba.
They sell tubes of baking soda on Temu, I'm sure.
What?
Like an empty hand sanitizer container or like a recycled little
And you pump out the powder?
Like a cigar tube, and you just sprinkle it.
Okay.
Unscrew the cap, and I'm not gonna put a whole box. Fuck.
I don't know. I keep mine in a butter container, so I guess I'm not, you know.
You're more ghetto than me. Either Janella's itty bitty or it's a 5-gallon.
I'm not going out buying cigar containers to put my baking soda in.
I have them. I have a plastic. Which way do I have to turn? I have a plastic filing cabinet. I've got plastic bags, old one. I'm Italian. We don't get rid of anything. Plastic bags.
Same.
Plastic containers, metal containers, straws, ranger bands, rubber bands, zip tie. Like, I keep it all. I keep it all. We keep it all. I am itty bitty. I'm only 5 foot.
Yeah, if you guys didn't watch the video from Cayuga, look at the video of me standing next to her. She looks ridiculous.
I'm tiny.
Of course, I've lost like 20 pounds since then, so.
Good job, by the way.
This one glows in the dark. I'd have to turn the lights out to show you. Should I do that?
If it works. If you got a light on it and it'll go, oh.
Alright.
It has to play that sound though when you do it, or I don't want to see
It
it.
has
I'll
to
do
play
it.
that sound.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
All right, let me charge it up.
That's right.
Again, another soundbite I can use. Let me charge.
Or they also have, for fuck's sake, they also have these ones that like fold up and fold down.
You don't want to do the ones in the scupper holes with Old Town, though. It'll break your kayak.
No, it'll break my kayak. I'm not doing that.
You want the ones that literally have like I can send you a link. They make ones with like little poles that go underneath. What you do is you back your kayak into the water. You attach them in the water so they're not as hard to get up underneath the kayak, and
Hold
then you
on.
strap them on and warm them. That is
That looks cool. No, I don't want to do that. That's too much work. I want to drop them down, and I want to wheel it out. I want to put it in the water. I
So you
want to
should
lift it
sell
up.
your Old Town and buy a feel-free lure that has the wheel and the keel that's already built into it.
The wheel and the keel.
Seriously, look at the feel-free lure. It's literally got a big-ass wheel in the back of the kayak.
Mr. Stoneman, sir, you have those.
Wait.
Hold on, I'm asking a question, Adam.
Sorry.
Are they permanently mounted onto your John boat? Are they the plastic ones? Are they the metal ones? How do you have them rigged? Because I was going to make like a not a bearing block, like a brace block out of like that's gorgeous, out of like a thicker cutting board material and bolt it through. That way it disperses the weight. It's not just on those little bolts.
And then it cracks the back of your kayak, and then it rips your back of your kayak open, and your Old Town won't cover the warranty because you can't drill into the hull below the water line.
I feel like
Just saying.
I don't like any of the. I don't like.
Don't drill into your kayak.
The concern I have, here's the
Okay.
concern I have, is that Janelle goes to Maine and she's fishing in her kayak and she calls me in a panic because she's sinking in the middle of the lake. And,
Glug, glug, glug.
and it's going to take me 8 hours to get to wherever the hell.
Help me! I'm not spending $300 on the Boondocks ones. I'm just not.
No, there's. I guarantee you go on Temu, you can find yourself a car.
Shut the fuck up!
That's gonna be like a running joke the whole time you're up
It's
here.
all I
Listen,
could
need you to
literally
go-
afford right now.
I need you to go on TikTok shop and you can find this item.
I actually have $3.55 in my bank. Thank God I get paid at 12 o'clock, not 11:59.
You can buy one of my stickers.
I might overdraft.
No, they're only $2. No tax.
And if you drive to pick it up, you won't.
I was just gonna say I could just come get it.
It'll cost you more in gas.
Probably.
Actually, no. You have a Toyota Matrix. They're pretty good on gas.
Oh, they're great on gas. They
Wanna
are
make deals?
aluminum. That's dope.
Buy
They're
that Matrix off you.
Transom, but
I'm
they're
tired of lifting my kayak on top of my 4Runner.
dude. That's the other thing. When I get a truck, I'll just be able to.
You should see her setup to try. Speaking of lifting your kayak,
Oh my God, Adam! You haven't seen the way I have to
freaking setup.
mount it
Well,
on
you're
my
itty
butt.
bitty. That's a problem.
I'm itty bitty, and I'm not.
That kayak setup is. I mean, it's the only way to do it. But man,
I don't like it. Me and my dad are gonna have to rethink it because getting that thing off of there by myself, I scratched up the whole front, the whole top point. Two kayakers had to be rescued on the Hudson because they got blocked in by icebergs. Well,
Locked in by icebergs.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna piss a lot of people off, but
oh no.
if it is a goddamn river, stop fucking ice fishing it. It's current.
But they're in kayaks.
It's current.
Yeah, but that's too dangerous. Like that's a.
Don't cold weather fish places with current.
So Adam, this is the hoist system that my dad and I built on the back of the bus. On the raft.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is also the reason why Janelle has to take alternate routes to places because she doesn't fit under bridges.
Makes me 13. I need a 13-foot clearance after that.
She was late to Cuba because she had to find an app that drives her around bridges.
We literally hand crank it by a winch.
I think you need a smaller kayak.
I think you need a bigger kayak.
And then I put my e-bike on it, and then I drive to Cayuga Lake to catch 2 fish.
and hang out with.
Stupid
Two
is as
fish.
stupid is as stupid
And
does.
we
I
didn't
just quoted
catch
that.
crap
Yes.
that whole week. It was like, and it was that's actually what prompted me to get a cap for my truck because I froze to my tent.
Stupid is as stupid.
I'm pretty sure at one point it was snowing. It
I
felt
didn't think
like
it was.
felt like ice. Well, yeah, you
just
were in a
raining.
building. You were in a glorified tarp with sticks.
The best part about my trip with Bobby also is like he was like, "All right, let's set up," and I was like, "Okay." I backed in. I took one of the totes of firewood off the back.
Yeah.
We put up my easy up, and I was like, "I'm ready."
That's why I got the cap because so I have literally now a folding cot. I told you about the cot situation, right?
Probably in the 10 million text or voice messages we've sent to each other.
Probably, yeah. So basically, the one I had originally was so tall that once I put my
that's cute.
mattress on it, I would be like this close to the fucking ceiling of my cap. So I had to get like a shorter, like height one.
Dude, that's wicked. That's wicked awesome.
But that's why I bought the diesel heater and the cap was because I want to be like Janelle where I could just park and be camping and not have to park and then get the tent box out and the air mattress box out and set the tent up, put the fly on it and level the thing off. Like I want to be able to just show up and go in the back of my truck and fall asleep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Turning an old pop-up frame. At some point, I'm gonna be on the lookout for an old jet ski trailer situation. Turn that into a kayak trailer.
Honestly, what would be the coolest trailer for traveling would be
I don't know. Cut me off again and see what happens.
sorry.
She'll run you off the road. That's in Jersey, not New England.
Michael likes the
snowmobile
perch
trailer.
pattern. Sorry, go ahead.
Like
Other
those
Mike.
snowmobile trailers.
Those snowmobile trailer. The
Like
enclosed
covered
ones?
Yeah, because you think about it, you can literally throw your kayak up underneath. A lot of those are like 12 foot, 10 foot. You could put your kayak under it and then literally sleep under it too. Or use it to store shit.
I have a bus. Also, Janelle is so itty bitty that she can sleep in the back seat of any vehicle.
Yeah,
Like-
you could.
Any vehicle, e-bikes, all.
That's okay, shut up. I slept in a Toyota Tacoma when I was in Massachusetts last winter. I've napped many a time in the Matrix. A minivan is perfect for me. Give me a minivan, I can fucking stretch out. So I can make it work. But I know what you mean, Mike. That's not a bad idea. If I get a truck, then I'm just gonna get like the little extender and then.
Well, that's why, yeah. Because I mean, for you, what I'm saying is like for local stuff. The bus, bus is your travel rig, but like you don't necessarily need to drive the bus to the lake that's 20 minutes away.
No, and I won't. But I unpacked that kayak by myself. I like that too, and it was just no bueno. It was no good. I didn't fucking like it at all. So either we make a bracket that it slides into and that whole bracket moves. That way, when it falls down, it because when I start to unwind it, it's swaying. Like it's
yeah,
pivoting.
you need something that locks the whole kayak in. It's on a hinge that like comes down.
Yep.
Like hydraulic type system that like keeps it from just.
And my dad welded that L bracket of the hoist so I can't fully open the damn back door. So when I have to plug in the power and everything, it's freaking annoying.
Yeah.
A Smalley would crush that.
You know, I have a bandit bait that is very similar to that color, actually.
Bandit bait. I have a bandit
So
bait.
that's actually wood grain.
Oh yeah, that's so
That's
cool.
a natural wood grain.
Yeah.
And that's cypress wood from the swamps of South Carolina. I made a friend down there, and he cut me off like a cypress knee from there's like root balls that come up out of the water. He cut a whole one of them off out of the swamp, and I started making lures out of it. So I was like, I should leave the wood grain on these.
The orange belly or red belly? I couldn't tell. Does it have a belly?
Yeah, red belly.
Yeah, red belly. Little itty bitty red. I like how you're making fun of my tackle tote toolbox storage, Michael. Because that project's coming up soon. Because before I know it, by the time I come back from our trip, I'm going to have to be getting ready for spring. Like, ASAP.
Yeah, you get ready for me to come down for a snakeheads then, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to go to Woodbury and get snakeheads.
we should all get together when I come down.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should go to Woodbury with Adam too, because we're
My-
gonna go to Newton's, of course. You have to, and then he's probably gonna sleep on the street in front of my house in his in his truck.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a street.
Better than sleeping at Newton with all the rest of the homeless.
Good night, Stoneman. Thank you so much for everything, and I don't know if I'm gonna meet you when I'm in Vermont, but thank you for all the
That's
resources.
definitely possible.
Yeah, for everybody who came in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, get some sleep.
I appreciate it.
Definitely, we
it's
should
cool
do.
to show off like what I've done, and I don't get to do it often like this to show like everything that I've
I know.
put together over the past like 5 years or so.
He just needs a conveyor belt, and he just clips new ones on, and then it just keeps going by with
Yeah,
all
like
of his lords.
So that's the problem. I don't have like a system for putting these on the internet and selling them.
Right.
But everything is for sale. Even the ones that are on my rod, I'll sell to people if they want them that bad.
There you go. Hit him up.
Because I'll just make a new one.
Everyone's saying
So-
good night.
Yeah.
I was showing off this one because I have a YouTube video coming out very soon. In fact, it's sitting over there. I just have to hit publish.
There you go.
About the making of this one from beginning to end.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that tomorrow.
And this is a balsa walker,
Yeah, I like that.
but I can't test it because everything is frozen.
Let's not talk about it. Bobby will get very upset.
So you get no test footage other than in my sink and my little Tupperware.
It's smaller than I thought. Now you pull
It's
it away.
It's small.
Yeah. Bitsy. Yeah,
I'm
Mike.
sorry again, soundbite. It's smaller than I thought. Yeah, it's small.
Oh
Oh,
my
geez.
God. The middle
that.
finger bobber is hilarious. Is that a slip bobber?
Yeah, it's a line through slip bobber.
That's my guy.
So I used a pen, like the ink pen tube,
There you go.
and this is actually a 2-piece bobber. The hand is one piece, and then the finger was another.
Yeah, Mike better be biting his damn
I'm
tongue.
trying. The problem is I'm way worse in person. Janelle can attest to that. I'm actually
He is.
PC on the podcast compared to I'm slightly business professional when I'm on the podcast. When I'm in person, it's like every other word's a swear, and it's not good.
It's all good.
If they turn a camera on, I'll go in it.
How many days are you coming down in the spring?
So I was gonna ask you. So I've been kind of screwing around with. I've been kind of banking PTO because my plan for, and this is kind of good for everybody watching too, is my plan for the channel is I'm trying to do more like the whole experience instead of just like fish catch or tip trick video. I'm going to make those, and those still going to be part of the channel. Matter of fact, I have literally videos that I keep pushing because I keep finding something better to put in its place that I'm just going to have to release that I recorded like 2 years ago. But which is going to be funny because you're going to see Fat Binya on some of these videos. Like, dude, it's not. Did you see some of the shorts I put up this week?
No, I haven't.
should-
I've been on like my camping trip was so good. I had no phone, and then when I came back, the only thing I've been doing is like playing games on my phone and not paying attention to people.
You should go look at like my Instagram and my YouTube shorts because it's like Fat Binya. So for perspective, from last year this time, I've lost like 85 pounds.
Oh yeah! Wow, Jesus!
Like I'm down to 260.
Good job, man.
I was like almost 280 when I was hanging out with you guys. Like I lost another 20 pounds since I was hanging out with you guys.
Who were the Jew
But-
guys?
With the Yuga trip.
The Jew. We were the Jew guys.
The Jew guys.
Jew guys.
But my plan, anyways, so my plan
Sorry.
is I'm trying to save as much vacation time because I want to do. There's a few trips that I'm trying to talk Bobby into it, but if he doesn't want to do it, maybe I can talk you into.
You got to stop trying to talk Bobby into things. You know that's not going to work well for you.
I kind of want to go to Maine and do like a moose.
I
egg.
like Maine.
Okay, but you're coming down to Maryland for snakeheads, right?
So in the
Maryland.
spring, I'm coming down. I'm thinking like a 4-day weekend kind of thing. Like come
Okay.
down.
But I'm talking about the four of us trip plus apparently
I don't know if that trip is kind of like.
You
kind
have
of-
to do it. You
I
don't
don't
have
know
a
if Bobby's
frickin-
doing it.
I
you
think
look at
he's
Bobby-
doing it. I think we're all doing it.
When?
I don't know. Whenever Marilyn Snakehead want to bite. Sorry, I'm over here
Frogs?
screaming into the
They
TV.
like
if
frogs.
If we
They
do a Maryland send, the way that's gonna work is that's a long fucking drive for me. So I would probably stop in Jersey
I know that.
and then go down there, but that's like a week off for me.
I am aware of this situation. But that was, I think, what we decided is going to be our trip for this year. We gotta name it. We gotta name it.
I to be honest,
The
Bobby's,
Mid-Atlantic Send.
I'm sure Bobby's gonna listen to this. From me talking to him, his schedule is like crazy.
I don't want to hear. Listen, I don't need to hear Bobby's schedule from you, Michael. I can get Bobby's schedule from Bobby.
I'm not so sure
I'm
that
just saying.
still happening.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Anyway, when you come down here for our trip,
Okay,
a Ninja Turtle freaking crankbait people, are you seeing this?
that is cool. I've actually done that. I actually painted some stuff with like nail polish and like crap
Oh, it's
like
got a
that.
shell and everything. That's cool. When you come down here, you should come down for. Do you count travel days as a day? How long? How long does it take you to
It's
get
gotta
here?
be a day.
5 hours. I feel
I
like
think
it's.
5.
I think it's 5 because I
4 or 5.
remember the Pine Hollow campground was like 4.5.
I think it took me 4.5 to get to MetLife. So
Okay, and then that's another hour. So yeah. So travel days that's tough because that's like the whole damn day.
it is and it
Well, we
isn't.
could do an afternoon send. Like if you left early in the morning, come
right.
here, take a minute, and then you could totally.
That's why my snakehead send to Jersey is going to be dependent on whether or not we're doing a Maryland send, because I'm probably not going to do 2 Jersey sends, because ironically I'm saying I'm going to do more traveling and I'm going to do some travel videos, and I fucking hate driving with a passion.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a little
With
foil.
a passion. Like if I won
Like
one of
that.
them stupid like $1 billion Powerballs, the first thing I would do is hire Janelle to drive me places, and I would never drive again.
I would not hire.
But then you
Janelle
would have to
because-
smell diesel fumes everywhere you go.
Okay,
No,
it's
no, no,
still
no.
worth it.
Time out. I'm not. I don't like driving either.
Yeah,
I want somebody to
but-
drive me.
but
I
Wait
need
a minute,
bed.
you bought a bus to drive around the country.
I'm aware, but I control how long I drive for. I'm not fucking Mike's bitch. I'm not doing that shit. Hey, drive me here. Nah. I'm the one who wants to sleep in the back while someone else is driving.
Yeah, I hate going like long distance. So part of it is my ADHD kicks in,
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
and I get after about 3 hours, I'm
It
screwed.
hurts. It
I
hurts
can
after
Well, just
3
listen
hours.
to the Spawn podcast.
Yeah. You're good.
I am out. To be honest, I'm out of podcasts. There is an efficient podcast. I went back and listened to every episode of Jakes and Vigs.
I'll
Well,
drive
travel.
Miss Daisy. Yeah, that's true. That's
So-
true. I can do like a 4. I can do
4.5,
know.
5 is max.
What's-
Like
yeah, I feel
Cayuga
like-
was almost 5.
Cayuga was rough because I had to drive all the way around the fucking Delaware Water Gap and add 2 hours and get nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't even talk about that. Look
So
at
my
that little
plan,
swag.
anyways, is if we're doing that Maryland send, then I want to come down and hang out with you for a couple of days in Jersey, and then shuffle down to Maryland, so I don't have to drive 9 hours.
What do you want to catch in Maryland that you can't catch anywhere else?
No, we were listen. The 4 of us were just we don't listen, Adam. Listen, sir, you're not in this.
So there
I'm-
wasn't.
I'm curious. I used to live in Maryland, so I know.
They want to do a snakehead send, and then we had agreed on Maryland.
I think it was
I
'cause
don't-
someone was down there. That they
Yeah, someone else is down there. Anyway, what I was trying to
Okay.
say is, you will fish with me. We'll hit up Adam also. We'll go to Woodbury Lake. We'll do a kayak send at Woodbury. Adam will show me all of his sneaky little spots because that lake, I feel like it's a hidden gem. I don't know why I don't fish it. I used to drive over it every day going to school. And
It's
yet,
dirty. There's dead bodies in it, shopping carts, all that.
okay, but that's what everywhere you go in South Jersey, so I don't know.
So moral of the story is I'm either coming down there for like 4 days
And yeah,
and
and then
fish
go
with
in.
you, and then or I'm coming down there for 2 days and then driving to Maryland and fishing for a few days there and then coming back. So it's all going to depend on.
That's a big haul.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm not so sure I want to do the Maryland. If I can catch a snakehead in Jersey and park and be a street sleeper next to your house.
A street sleeper.
Street
Was that
sleeper.
2 clothing clips together, Adam? That brown thing?
Yeah, that's
structure. Yeah, it's 2 of them.
That's what that is.
Oh, no, not that one. That one is beautiful. The red, brownish one. Yeah, I need that for Champlain. Put that on the side. Put my name on that. Just, you know. Ooh.
Shiny.
Look at him just pulling out all of the shit. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that aside from whatever. Either way, Adam's gonna be a part of that trip. That's all I was really trying to get at.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like either way it's happening. God. I'm coming down for that either way. It's just whether or not it's just 4 days in Jersey or a day and a half, 2 days in Jersey, and
I can put you on a John. Have you wait? Okay, time out. I can put you on a John Zarati. Adam, have you ever had a John Zarati?
Is that like a Panzerotti?
Yeah, but it's better.
Okay.
You've never. Okay, so both of you, I got it done. That's what I was talking about. Is that 2 clotheslines, clothespins?
It's
wow,
one.
Can you tell I'm tired.
But you flipped it upside down and glued it together.
Oh, it just that's what I meant.
Take it apart, flip it upside down, glue it together, and you get a bug.
Was thinking 2 halves instead of Got you. See, look.
Yeah, no, that's definitely gonna happen at some point.
But snakeheads, they're in every industrial park around here.
They are. It's fucking ridiculous.
You don't have to go to like some exotic swamp or anything. They're literally in the industrial park outside of an office building.
Well,
just
Adam,
milling around, eating all the bass.
Unless you want 4 of us camping on your small property, I don't know. I think that was part of the other problem, was figuring out where we were going to camp. There's options, people. It's not that big of a deal, but I know what you mean. Listen, that's for the boys.
We got spots.
We got spots.
Walmarts.
We do. We got Cracker Barrels too.
Yeah, we got Cracker Barrels.
The problem is I can't bring my gun across state lines, and I need to protect
myself. You're
not
bringing a fucking gun. Shut up.
I got news for you. Never mind. I'm not going to say it because I committed a felony, but
we're not talking about that here.
Yeah. Let's just say I was protected in Cayuga.
So was I, but legally.
See, the thing is I can't cross. There's a lot of state borders to Vermont that I can't cross. As soon as I cross, I'm a felon if I have a weapon in my vehicle.
Oh.
See, I live in an open carry state. I can carry a fucking AR-15 into Walmart.
Blah, blah, blah. Adam, I love that. I'm still obsessed with this thing.
I haven't tested this one yet. You can't have it yet.
I need to know. I didn't say I want it right now, even though you know me very well. When that $1,400 check drops, boys.
What I need you to do is I need you to start putting her name in those characters on all the baits that she says she wants. Just...
I've got a couple that had her name on it already, but I don't know if she wants them anymore.
I was wondering, do you still have... He probably does have the original.
I do.
The original. The lure that was hanging off of his mailbox was like a brown gold, double jointed, swimmy, baity.
Yeah, it was a carp.
It was a carp.
Yeah, I still have that. But I also have this.
Yes! I know whose name is on that one. That's a Soraya Moda lure right there.
Gotcha.
It has a flower and everything.
I know. She still wants it.
But
I gotta get it to her.
I didn't know if you or she still wanted it, so I kept it off to the side just in case.
Oh, see, he's so sweet. Really, if I go over your house, I'm just gonna want to play with your dog. The lures and everything else. Everything else is a bonus, but really, I'll just be like, "Can I play with your dog?"
She wants to go out soon anyway.
Yeah, it's about that time.
But before you go, I'll show you my secret stash of my own baits that I made for me.
It's in a goddamn freaking...
I've been holding out.
Hold on. Is it... I like how your cookie tin isn't a sewing kit. Mine's a sewing kit.
Yeah. So this was made out of a tree that fell on my property in the Pine Barrens.
Yeah, and you said, "Watch this, bitch."
I turned it into a bluegill.
That's awesome.
Color shift. And then I showed you this one on Insta earlier.
Yeah.
Came out real clean.
That's a deadly little number right there.
Yeah, so anytime a tree falls down, I'm like, ooh, what can I make out of that?
Free shit.
Yeah, it makes you look at the world differently too. Because
Doesn't it?
you're driving by and you're like, oh, that's a cedar, that's a cypress, that's a maple. Now I can't make an allure out of that.
Yeah.
Sweet gum, no good.
I see any wood on the side. I'm like, free firewood? Free firewood?
Yeah, you're like, oh, can I burn
The
that?
problem is you have to cut it up so small to fit in that fireplace too, though. So you have
No,
to.
I'm talking about regular firewood.
Oh, regular firewood.
Listen, I got a guy at a cabinet shop that gives me all of his scrap hardwoods, and that is like a game changer. For
You should
free.
definitely have a bunch of that for freaking.
Oh,
Beer.
I know. I'm very well aware. Pine
That being
Barrens-
said, I have a bunch of firewood. It's just in firewood form. I don't know if you can split it up small enough to fit it in there, but I have a bunch I can bring.
Okay. The Mothman.
Same story. I got trees that fall in my yard that I just like cut them into chunks and throw them under my deck and let them dry out. And
Yep.
I bring
Or turn them into fishing lures.
Yeah, that thing's dope.
I'm not that creative.
I would ruin my dad's shop in a heartbeat, and he would be like, "What the fuck?" Like right now, it's been taken over by ice fishing gear.
You only need hand tools. I don't have a power saw. I don't have a power sander. Everything is done with.
I have a handful behind me, but still, that's his.
There you go.
I'd end up cutting myself.
Oh.
Ooh. Walleye bait there.
Yeah, that's
I'm
got
too
walleye.
accident prone. I'd end up slipping and like slitting my wrist by accident and have to.
Well, I almost cut my knuckle off with a folding saw cutting PVC pipe for the bus. What else? Got a really bad paper cut the other day at work, but that's healed.
You know what really sucks is cardboard cuts. Cardboard cuts are the fucking worst.
Terrible.
Like that color pattern.
So we're going on 2 hours. We should probably wrap up soon. Here.
Look at him. He's like my eyes.
I could keep showing you more, but I don't want to keep you guys all night.
That's okay.
We can have you come back. We can definitely do some stuff when I come down too, for sure.
Yeah, and when you come back on, we'll actually talk gear and shit.
we can do a podcast. Here's what I propose to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give away a bait to somebody who's watching the podcast today.
No way.
Awesome.
We'll give away a bait.
Do I count?
You count? Sure, you count.
No. Okay.
But they gotta watch until this point, otherwise they won't know what's happened.
Exactly. Right. That's true.
So they gotta watch to the end. And I'm gonna make a bait with the word "the spawn" on it, or the words.
That's cool.
There you go.
And then when you come down, you have a challenge now. You have to catch a fish with it.
I'm down for that. I am so down for that. That's awesome.
Right. If you're in, I'm in.
I'm in, baby.
But you got to tell me what kind of bait you want.
Technically, this is
what
is
do you feel confident in?
What do I feel? A frog.
Turbo frog?
I'm kidding. A turbo frog? I don't know. I like that popper doohickey bass side thing. But I also
I'm not gonna lie. That like swagger thing. I want one of those. I'm definitely
that swagger thing is also really freaking cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm trying to think. The Spawn podcast. There's a lot to write on there. Gotta like. That's dope. I like that the gills are like flary.
Oh, that's a pipe cleaner.
Nice. Do we get to pick the bait? I don't know.
The people from the podcast watching?
Yeah, Scott was asking. Scott Vermont or sorry, that was my
I'll put 3 out there and then I'll send them to Janelle and then you guys can pick.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Are we both getting a lore with the Spawn podcast, or are you just making one? Like now, I'm just.
Well, you're not a co-host.
No, I'm not.
Mike. Leverage, Mike. Come on, work this magic.
Oh man. I have no
Are
idea.
you a co-host?
No, I'm not. I am a
She-
nobody.
She will never commit to that. We'll be doing this next year at this time, and she'll still be the tentative co-host. I've
Here's the
already
thing.
got a backup co-host just in case.
Yeah, exactly. She's already got a fucking replacement. So
You can't tell her that you have a replacement. Well,
exactly.
Karen, oh
No,
my
it actually
god!
there's actually strategery behind that.
No,
And
it's
it is
bullshit.
because she's going to be traveling, so I need someone to fill in when she's not in service.
Here's the
You,
thing.
you,
I don't.
you can't call like Paul Heels as like a backup or something.
Dickhead.
You want me to call Paul?
Oh, are you laughing at my Vermonter accent? Anyway,
So I actually have Paul's
God,
cell phone number. Do you
reminder.
want me to call him?
No.
Please don't. He'll pop
Um,
in here and he'll be wearing a bikini and nothing else.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't-
I'm actually friends with the Jabberhammer. I can text him. I can probably get Mikey Balls on here too if I wanted.
I can agree
So-
that I like the swagger lore. If you're gonna make a lore, I think you should make the
The
swagger.
swagger
lore.
is cool.
Yeah.
I do like
The,
that.
the
Bluegill-
swagger is the one that you guys want.
I'm
All
not
right,
gonna lie. I'm
we'll
probably
give away
gonna
a
hit you up.
swagger.
I'm gonna hit you up and probably buy a swagger from you anyways, regardless.
That's fine. I got plenty available. I got all kinds of different colors. Do you want to give away the bluegill?
Bag bomb. I want
Bluegill
the
would probably-
bluegill,
yeah,
but yes,
that-
that's awesome.
For this audience up here, that's probably gonna
Yeah.
be the best giveaway color for sure.
All right. So we'll do the bluegill as the giveaway for the podcast.
There you go.
I'll set
Yeah.
that one aside for you.
That's it. I
Cool.
don't mind doing the podcast during the winter months. Like I said, during the busier season, you're not gonna be able to catch me. Just saying.
The
So-
podcast is going to slow down, guys. Actually, that's a good point too. Is I am going to be doing. It's going to be bi-weekly. Period. And Janelle's going to commit to twice a month. She just doesn't know it yet. But
Or my replacement co-host, whoever he gets.
that's why it's bi-weekly. I get one and him the other. That way, I can say you only have to show up once a month.
All right, that's not a bad deal. Anyway,
That's why I'm going bi-weekly in the summertime. I'm going to try to stay bi-weekly because honestly, I run out of topics, I run out of guests, and having a co-host is just more or less is going to be like, hey, we were fishing this week and this is what we did. But like doing it every week, it's like I'm going to give you the same story that I gave you last week. It's
Right.
just,
It gives us more time to focus on what we want to talk about, who we want to bring on, and those types of things. That's awesome.
But I got plenty to say about all kinds of different stuff, whether it's
I know,
fly
we didn't
fishing or smallmouth.
We didn't even dive
Going to
into it.
Champlain.
Oh, we'll definitely, like I said, I rotate through guests. I've had Bobby on here like 6 times. I've had Alex Rudd on like 5 times. Like I'm not shy against putting other people on multiple times. And hell, I've had Janelle. I think this is like 4,
Co-host.
This might be 5.
4 or 5. Like I've had
Yeah.
her like back-to-back weeks at one point because somebody bailed on me and I needed her to come back and do it.
Yeah, I was a backup. All these
It
backups.
sounds-
Jesus. You're just a
sounds
hoe,
like-
Mike. You're
Right.
just a fucking
So-
hoe.
So this whole podcast is to give you perspective. This whole
Shut
podcast
up.
came to be I wanted to make
Little
content in
brown
the
trout.
winter and I couldn't ice fish. So I was like, I'm going to start a podcast just purely to make something to put on my YouTube channel. And my boy Bear Fishing, I will say, me and him talk a lot of shit to each other, but he said something when I was camping at Eden with him that made me like, he's like, the Spawn podcast is like a thing now. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, to me, it's still that thing that I just decided to do to make winter content, but it really has become kind of a thing of its own.
The
And
people enjoy it.
it's
Yeah.
in that it allows me to do what I can't do on the videos because I can't just go on a random rant about driving down to Jersey and eating a snakehead while I'm making a video because no one's going to watch.
Or not go driving down to Jersey and not catching a fucking fish.
Or not, yeah.
Driving
or
while
like,
eating a snakehead.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But that's the other thing about it is that's why I kind of transformed my content for 2025 too. Is like I have figured out ways to make videos out of like Cayuga was a perfect example. We didn't catch shit fishing quality wise. That would have been a trip that I would have called a wash 2 years ago and not made any video from it. But what was cool is when you go with someone too that's content, like that's why I'm excited about this trip with Janelle coming up.
I
Is
like
me
that
and her
too.
have the same mentality when it comes. Like there was that point, and it's in my video where I'm literally filming a stupid driving to the lake scene, and I come around the corner, and Janelle's got her freaking selfie cam, and she's talking to her camera, and then we were
Selfie
filming
cam.
each other,
Funny.
filming each other.
Yeah.
Like we were literally just like locked our cameras onto each other and filmed as we drove by each other.
I was
Like
like,
that's
you,
the
me,
kind of
you,
stuff.
me. Cool. Film it.
And
That's a
that's
pretty
kind of
color
what
short.
happens is like you turn around. Like ice fishing is even worse because you'll be like pulling a fish up from like a tip up, and then you turn around and there's a camera in your face because somebody's ran over to you to do it.
Oh, dude. I didn't tell you what. Okay, Mike, text me. You got a new soundbite, and I absolutely love it. Love it. Everybody
you?
knows. Yeah.
Like text
Everybody
it?
know. Yes, text me.
You
For
have
fuck's
17
sake.
methods of communication. I gotta know which one you want me to
He
use.
always messages my t-shirt company.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm texting.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
That's awesome.
You're the camel from the Hump Day commercial,
That,
and I.
so, that explains why you get so pissed at me when I text you when you're
No,
sleeping.
I love it now because I'm like, I literally am like, Mike. What day is it, Mike? Like
That's
I literally
funny.
do it. It's
You
great.
don't know. You guys don't know how many times I'll text her and I'll get the answer, and then I'm going back to bed now
Yeah, leave me the fuck alone.
because I forget
Adam-
that she isn't on like a standard schedule.
Adam
sometimes.
doesn't do that to me, does he? No.
What? No.
He goes,
No,
no.
when Janelle texts me at like 7 in the morning, I just ignore it until I feel like waking up.
It's very rare though.
It happens.
This was also when I was waking up at 5. The days that I had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to drive an hour and a half down to deliver mail was bullshit. Thank God I don't do that anymore. Also, Scott Vermonter, are you a bag bomb guy? Is this your shit? Because this is my shit. Since what
She
year
pulls out the cow udder bag bomb stuff.
1899, baby.
I use it on my feet.
Ew.
It's on my lips now. I fucking hate you.
I'm
Why
just
would you
saying.
Off of
say
his
that?
feet. Ew.
Yeah, you should see my feet. They're nasty too. Now you put that on you.
I've seen your feet. I've seen you soaked from the waist down because you launched a kayak the wrong way. Anyway,
Right. You did see that, didn't you? Shit, yeah.
my
This
dad,
podcast is going downhill.
yeah,
Big
it's
time.
sinking like.
So yeah,
slow.
we will all definitely get back together at some point and do another show. Be on the lookout for the content. I've got like so many ice fishing videos that are going to be coming out, and I actually hate ice fishing, which is the funniest part about all of it.
Why am I coming up to fucking ice fish
So
with you?
I hate ice fish. I don't. Okay, I can't say I hate ice fishing.
You just did.
I've made this statement
Literally
on
just did.
your podcast, but he hasn't heard it yet, so he's going to get to hear it and laugh with everybody else. Fishing is my drug. So fishing is my cocaine. Ice fishing is my crack cocaine. It gets me there. It's not what I want to do, but it's what I got until I can get back to my drug.
Okay.
So I do ice fishing because I can't fish. I've actually started to enjoy ice fishing a little bit more, but it's mostly about the company. It's about I do it with specific people that I enjoy hanging out with because at the end of the day, ice fishing is not fishing. Ice fishing is a social hangout.
So it's like bowling.
It's like bowling. It's like
I love bowling.
it literally ice fishing is like the side effect is catching fish. It's an excuse to get together and then you could catch fish.
Oh, I was hoping that you would just leave me alone and like I'd be fishing my hole and you'd be over there fishing yours.
Again, soundbite there.
Soundbite.
Yeah,
Soundbite.
yeah.
I'm just gonna start saying that now throughout the
Anyway.
season. But no, the plan is really that though. Like we're gonna be sitting in our own shanties and then tip ups are gonna go off. And the way I do tip ups is kind of different than a lot of people too, is I set up shit for everybody and then I'll be honest, there's a lot of times where I'm the closest one to the tip up and I'm too fucking lazy to go run to it. So I'll be like, tip up, and then somebody goes and gets it. And I'll film them catching the fish. If you actually watch my last two videos, the reason why Bear caught most of the fish in the video is because I was too tired to run to the goddamn tip up.
I'm gonna make you run.
Oh no!
Go get it.
The lakes that we're going to, That is
Nice.
a different level of fish.
Nice. Okay.
That is walleye. That is big smallmouth. That is big pike. On the first 2 lakes I fished this year, it was more likely going to be a jumbo perch than anything else, and I'm not willing to sprint for a jumbo perch. It's just not in my wheelhouse. I'm just not willing to do it.
I'm bringing my skates, so I'm excited to.
Oh, absolutely. Now there might be. I don't know what the snow situation is going to be on top of the ice.
Well, I'm
but
bringing. Why would I
Bring 'em.
not bring them?
Just
I'm
bring
gonna
'em.
drive that far. I'm gonna bring them. Damn
She's
it.
gonna bring a shovel too.
Oh my god! My favorite thing that I got at the Berlin Mart was a $5 metal whatever like shovel, but it's like
Did you go to the
big.
tackle shop there?
Yes, that's where I got it from.
My buddy Catfish runs that place.
No shit.
You
Yeah.
went to a tackle store and bought a shovel.
I went to the Berlin Mart, which is like it's like
They sell
a
feel-free kayaks there.
where
At that shop,
in that
Megalore.
shop?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't even. Okay, never
So
mind.
she went to an in-store Temu and she bought a.
She went to an in-store team and bought a shovel, I'm sure.
Got it. So she went to a retail Temu.
Mike's like the Wish version of Bobby Roast Beef.
True.
Wow.
Ah!
Hold
Suck
on.
on that!
Hold on. 2 minutes.
Oh!
I gotta write that down. 2 minutes 11 seconds.
You mean 2 hours? 2 hours and 11
2 minutes.
seconds.
11 seconds.
2 minutes before we end this thing. She roasts him, and we just go black.
I am not only going to make that a short, I'm going to tag Jigs and Bigs on that fucking short.
You're
100%.
You're welcome.
This podcast is
The Wish version.
that is fucking awesome. I love that. We're
love
actually
you
going to
too.
end the podcast just on that comment. I can't go any further. I can't do any better.
Yeah, just fade to black right there.
Being the Wish version of Bobby Roast Beef is definitely a life aspiration.
With a worse beard.
I am going to
Shittier beard.
end the
Shittier,
show right now, guys.
shittier facial
We
hair.
will not be back in 2 weeks because she will be in Vermont, so we may do something, but more than likely you're not going to see us for a month.
You might. You might.
Do a live stream.
We'll see. But yeah, guys,
Bye.
we're going to end it right here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the lore.